Chapter 5042. Origin Ancient Site? What's an Origin Ancient Site? What's that? How come I've never heard of it before? Countless members of the feather race stared at Yan Fei in confusion, waiting for his explanation. Lu Junfei repeated these 3 words in a daze. He had never heard of it before either. Origin Ancient Site? Jiang Chen was the same. He had never heard of an Origin Ancient Site either. He had no idea what an Origin Ancient Site was, but something that was sought after by the entire feather race was definitely not simple. This time, the feather race had sent out a huge force. With so many people and so many experts gathered in one place, it was enough to sweep through the entire Heaven Awakening star region. Yan Fei's goal had finally been achieved. This Origin Ancient Site was definitely an extremely rare treasure. An Origin Ancient Site is an ancient relic that has already become an Origin Stone. Only after experiencing hundreds of millions of years can it become an Origin Ancient Ruin. In other words, this Origin Ancient Ruin has existed for at least an epoch. It could be a civilization from the previous epoch, or it could be a remnant of the previous epoch. However, the fact that the Origin Ancient Ruin can be preserved after hundreds of millions of years means that it is truly an eternal existence. Yan Fei's voice was extremely agitated. He had sacrificed his entire life for this. It was too difficult, which was why he was so agitated at this moment. He could not even control his emotions. I have studied this Origin Ancient Site for tens of thousands of years and have finally made some progress. That is why I requested permission from the Feather Race's ancestors to excavate the Origin Ancient Site. The existence of this Origin Ancient Site will change everything for the Feather Race and even the future. The Origin Ancient Site was left behind by an almighty figure from the previous era. Because of the changes in the world and the fall of the universe, many stars could not be preserved. That is why they were sealed by the almighty figures. Yan Fei said solemnly, "The fall of the universe's chaos? Could it be that the universe's chaos already existed before us? Or that it had already gone extinct?" Jiang Chen frowned. The destruction of one era meant the birth of another. Back in the divine world, Jiang Chen knew that the sky patrollers had chosen to remain silent in order to hide their identities. Now, it seemed that the fall of the universe's chaos was even more terrifying than the changes he had experienced in the divine world. Or perhaps the two were the same. According to the ancient records of the Feather Race, the everlasting world has existed for billions of years. Each era is about 1 billion years, so our everlasting world has existed for dozens of eras. The existence of these dozens of eras is a symbol of life. As time passes, no one can escape the baptism of time. An era is the longest we can live. It's also recorded in the ancient texts that when an epoch reaches its peak and declines, it will be reduced to dust. At that time, there won't be a single place in the eternal world that will be safe. The eternal world's meteor flow will destroy the heavens and extinguish the earth. The stars will transform, and heaven and earth will change. At that time, even almighty experts won't necessarily be able to reverse all of that. That is why, at the end of an epoch, almighty experts will seal away their world or their treasures, waiting for their descendants to open it. This Origin Ancient Site is a remnant of the previous era, or the era before that. This is a rare treasure. A great expert who could seal himself in the fallen star turbulence at the end of an era was definitely not to be underestimated. Therefore, this Origin Ancient Site must be a heaven-shaking treasure. Yan Fei said in a deep voice. His eyes were burning, and the shock and excitement in his heart were obvious. Everyone listened with relish. Even the slaves of the Milan star had sunk into a state of infatuation. One could imagine that if Yan Fei did not personally tell them about this secret, no one would know about it. Jiang Chen was even more shocked. No wonder the people of the Yu clan were trying their best to find this Origin Ancient Site. In other words, there's a high possibility that there's a relic from the previous era or the treasure of a powerful expert in the Origin Ancient Site. If that's the case, this secret would be a huge event in the entire eternal world. No wonder Yan Fei was so serious, and the Feather Race paid so much attention to it. Moreover, they were so careful. It was all to deceive others. From the looks of it, the Feather Race must be overjoyed. With this Origin Ancient Site, the Feather Race might really be able to reach the top of the everlasting world, sweep across the universe and unify the world. If it were any other race, Jiang Chen would not be so excited. However, he had seen the cruelty of the Feather Race more than once. If the Feather Race really conquered the everlasting world, what would happen? The entire world would become a purgatory. Origin Ancient Site. Such a treasure could not be allowed to fall into the hands of the feather race, nor could Yan Fei take advantage of it. Jiang Chen would definitely not let him go. Even if his body was torn to shreds, Jiang Chen had to stop the feather race. For the entire everlasting world and for himself. If he could obtain the Origin Ancient Site, perhaps his strength would soar. What an Origin Ancient Site! Ha ha ha! The feather race will eventually rule the entire everlasting world. This time, I, Yan Fei, will let the world know how powerful I am. Ha ha ha! Yan Fei's craziness had far exceeded Jiang Chen's imagination. It was no wonder. No matter who it was, no one would be able to predict what would happen if they obtained divine power that could make everyone in the world tremble one day. Long live the feather race! Long live the feather race! Long live the feather race! The cheers were deafening. Yan Fei's eyes were blazing with excitement. This Origin Ancient Site was the symbol of the feather race's rise. At this time, Lu Junfei was also very excited. Even if he was reprimanded by Yan Fei, it was worth it. The Origin Ancient Site that they had found could change the fate of the feather race. This was a true treasure. An Origin Stone Vein could not be compared to an Origin Ancient Site. Such a thing was truly a peerless treasure that could make one's head swim. Start digging. With Yan Fei's shout, all the feather race members charged forward as though they had been injected with chicken blood. Their fighting spirit was high. They could finally hold their heads high. This time, everyone who had come to Milan Star would become the meritorious people of the feather race and be recorded in the annals of history. Chapter 50-43. Who are these fellows? Did they come with Luo Ying? Although Jiang Qin knew of the existence of those people, he did not dare to act rashly. He could not completely expose his own source star soul. Otherwise, if he was caught by the feather race, he would definitely die. Now, Jiang Chen could only endure. However, he felt that there seemed to be several figures behind Luo Ying. Who they were and where they came from would probably give Jiang Chen a headache. However, the purpose of these people was most likely to be the feather race's treasure. Yan Fei was already fully prepared. However, the appearance of these people would definitely disrupt his plans. At that time, he might even be able to reap the benefits from the conflict. Who knows? Without absolute certainty, Jiang Chen would definitely not make a move. Yan Fei would be able to hold him back. At that time, it would be a battle of life and death. He did not know if there would be any treasures left. If he died here, it would not be worth it. They were here to eliminate the scourge of Milan Planet, not to sightsee. Although the crisis on Milan Planet was now known, it was not possible to completely change the situation overnight. Jiang Chen had already made a plan in his heart. At least, he would wait until Yan Fei dug out the treasure first. If he could steal it while they were not paying attention, he could shift the battlefield away from the Heaven Awakening Star region. He had originally planned to leave this place. He had many friends here, and he did not want to use this place as a battlefield. Otherwise, he would definitely hurt the innocent. Once the Horsemen of the Apocalypse and Qi Yeyu joined the battle, the significance would be different. Jiang Chen's plan was to divert the disaster to someone else. It would be best if it didn't involve Milan Star. The current Milan Star was already in a miserable state. Apart from the stronger ones who were enslaved, all the elderly, children, and those who weren't strong enough had been killed. The death toll was definitely more than half. The people on Milan Star could no longer afford the second round of consumption. If there was another war, it was likely to become a desolate planet, and everyone would die. The Star Emperor of Milan Star simply could not bear the burden of so many stellar-level experts. Now the appearance of this group of people, these uninvited guests, had caused Jiang Chen to change his mind. However, their purpose was still debatable. At least, as a bystander, although he had an army of demonic beasts, the army of demonic beasts would definitely not participate in the battle unless it was absolutely necessary. Tens of Star Level 6 experts, Jiang Chen didn't dare to be enemies with them at all. Although he was strong, he wasn't strong to the point of being condescending. Yan Fei kept a close eye on the excavation. Any secret treasure found in the Origin Historic Site would definitely be an earth-shattering existence. It looks like a weapon? Lu Junfei said in surprise. What weapon? So big? Yan Fei was a little surprised. However, looking at the outline, it did look like a weapon and it was very big. It was more than 6 feet long, very wide, very thick, and black. It was sealed in the Source Stone Mine, appearing very mysterious. What are you waiting for? Continue digging. Yan Fei was a little excited. This thing would be a real treasure. If it was a divine weapon, then it would be a huge profit. Jiang Chen squinted his eyes and watched quietly from the side. This was indeed a divine weapon. He had a feeling that this divine weapon was probably not inferior to his heavenly dragon sword, and might even be better. It was too big, and this aura did not leak out, but just looking at the outline was enough to predict what it would be. It was very likely to be a great killing weapon. Lu Junfei didn't dare to be negligent. Yan Fei's eyes were already burning with passion. At this time, Lu Junfei could only quickly dig with his men. If he wanted to show off in front of others, then he had to suffer a little. Lu Junfei had always wanted to suppress Gaselier and show off in front of Yan Fei. Hence, he could only bury his head and work hard. Once they dug out the treasure, Commander Yan would definitely reward them handsomely. There was no doubt about this. After a while, Lu Junfei finally confirmed that this was a weapon. Although only a small part of it was revealed, it already gave people a sense of grandeur and boundless majesty. The smooth handle was as thick as a thigh. The patterns on it were also extremely simple and natural, without any carvings. The black, round handle looked like a giant axe. Good stuff. Jiang Chen's eyes lit up. Although he didn't use an axe, his second brother, Pangu, did. This axe was definitely a rare and peerless divine weapon. Jiang Chen could see it, and so could Yan Fei. At this time, many people were shrouded by a huge pressure, and this pressure came from this divine weapon. What a domineering aura! Yan Fei took a deep breath, and his face was extremely gloomy. Those Milan slaves with low strength even became restless even when they breathed. This peerless godly weapon was definitely a great weapon, a great killing weapon. Continue digging. Ha ha ha, this is what I'm looking for. Yan Fei said with a big laugh. His eyes were blazing, and he rubbed his palms together. The treasure had finally appeared. He had definitely made a big profit this time. This was just the beginning. If he continued digging, if he found any treasures of heaven and earth, or ancient martial arts, it would be even more like he had the help of God. After more than 2 hours, Lu Junfei and the others finally dug out the giant axe. It was more than 2 feet long, and there was nothing fancy about it. It was just like an enlarged version of an ordinary axe. However, it was undeniable that the power of this axe was not to be underestimated. Now, the people around them had difficulty breathing. It was as if dark clouds were pressing down on the city. This great killing weapon was too domineering. How strong was the person who had it back then? Jiang Chen didn't dare to imagine, and Yan Fei didn't dare to imagine either. However, one thing was certain, and that was that he had finally obtained the treasure that he had been dreaming of. What a great sky-splitting axe! The person who held this sky-splitting axe back then must have been an awe-inspiring legendary figure. Yan Fei couldn't help but feel emotional. He gently stroked the sky-splitting axe. The people of the feather race around him were also cheering. Commander Yan had led them to win glory for the feather race. Who wouldn't be cheering for him? Be careful, there's someone behind you. At this time, Jiang Chen transmitted his voice to Luo Ying, who was hiding in the dark. Luo Ying was shocked. She didn't see Jiang Chen, nor did she notice the person hiding behind her. However, she knew that Jiang Chen should have already arrived. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. It seems that the feather race isn't alone. Someone has already beaten us to it. Should we bide our time? Luo Ying transmitted her voice to Jiang Chen. Yes. It's very likely that it's an opponent of the feather race. It could also be an interstellar wanderer. Let's wait and see first. I don't think this is a good place. Jiang Chen said in a deep voice. Gagaga, such a treasure is truly too tempting. Chapter 50-44. Who is it? Yan Fei roared, turning around and roaring furiously. Old ancestor Li Shan, Mu Yunhe is here. The skinny old man at the front had a strange smile on his face. What? Old monster Li Shan? It's them. Old monster Li Shan. Damn it, these guys aren't easy to deal with. We feather race are not easy to bully. Even old monster Li Shan cannot make us bow our heads. How many of them are there? What's there to be afraid of? There are no cowards in the feather race. You don't know. This old monster Li Shan is very powerful. These 4 are all stronger than Commander Yan Fei. Do you think Old Monster Li Shan is easy to deal with? Many people were shocked. Old Monster Li Shan was one of the Feather Race's archenemies. He was famous in the Sky Tyrant Starfield. He had killed countless people and was extremely cruel. Even the Feather Race did not want to provoke him. These fellows were like deranged mad dogs. Once they were infected, they would fight to the death with you until the end. Moreover, the strength of these 4 people was above his own. Yan Fei's eyes were also incomparably cold. After all his calculations, he did not expect that Old Monster Li Shan would actually follow him and appear on Milan Star. Old Monster Li Shan was a terrifying existence in the northern region of the Sky Tyrant Starfield. And there were more than 4 of them. This time, only the 4 of them had come. Even Mu Yunhe did not know what these Feather Race were planning. He only knew that they were here to search for treasure and had appeared here silently. They had to be so careful in order to deceive everyone. Even so, this was enough for Mu Yunhe. Such a huge treasure was just right for his family of 4. Otherwise, it would attract even more people. Wouldn't that make others jealous? In the end, the situation would get even more out of control. After all, such a treasure was enough to shake the entire Sky Tyrant Starfield. And this Feather Race was very interesting. To be able to dig up such a secret place, it really made others jealous. But to Mu Yunhe, coming here today was a great opportunity. Yan Fei's face was extremely gloomy. Of these 4 people, 2 were at the peak of the star level 6, while the other 2 were at the star level 7. They were definitely not easy to deal with. Their leader, Mu Yunhe, was notorious. Many people in the Sky Tyrant Starfield had been tormented by him, which showed how terrifying he was. Yan Fei knew that with his strength alone, he would only be able to passively take a beating. This time, they had entered the Heaven Awakening Starfield's Milan Star, which was a top secret of the Feather Race. Even so, it had still been leaked. It seemed like there was a spy among them. There was no such thing as an impenetrable wall in the world. Even if they were all members of the Feather Race, there would still be people with ulterior motives. Their whereabouts had definitely been exposed by such people. That was why the old demon of Mount Lishan could take advantage of them. Yan Fei was extremely frustrated. He had thought that this would be a flawless operation. Who would have thought that the people from the Sky Tyrant Starfield would catch up to them? This time they were going to suffer. Although the other side only had 4 people, 2 star level 7 powerhouses were enough to make dozens of star level 6 powerhouses like them anxious and battered. Since Mu Yunhe had dared to come, he definitely had made some preparations. After all, he had chased them all the way from the Sky Tyrant Starfield. Old Demon of Mount Lishan had been waiting for this day. If there were only a few source stone mines, it would not be a loss. But this time, there were ancient era divine weapons. This was a huge gain. Bastard! Old Demon of Mount Lishan, do you really want to go against the Feather Race? You should know what the consequences are for offending the Harpies, Yan Fei said in a low voice. The people of the Feather Race behind him had also started to gather. Facing a strong enemy, they had to fight head-on. There was no room for retreat. Xueqi, you definitely won't be able to enjoy this treasure. Why not give it to me? Isn't that great? This old man will definitely appreciate it. Mu Yunhe said with a smile. Father, I really like that huge axe. I really like it. A rough-looking, 9-foot-tall young man said excitedly. His eyes were about to fall out of their sockets as he looked at the huge sky-splitting axe. His mouth was full of saliva. Ha ha ha, my son likes it. Father will definitely help you get it. This thing is ours to begin with, Xueqi. Mu Yunhe laughed sinisterly as he stood with his hands clasped behind his back. Yan Fei didn't dare underestimate his stooped figure. Although the Feather Race is very powerful, I'm not afraid of you now. Do you think that I, old ancestor Lishan, am easy to bully? I've already prepared a countermeasure. Otherwise, why would I dare to come? Humph, if you know what's good for you, then scram. I will appreciate your kindness, but if you don't, then we can only meet on the battlefield. To tell the truth, I don't want to offend the Feather Race. After all, you are famous for being difficult to deal with. However, who asked my son to like it? Who asked this treasure to be so troublesome? Do you think you can handle this hot potato? Mu Yunhe sneered, his eyes blazing as he stared at the sky-splitting axe. Even he was deeply shaken, let alone his son. This sky-splitting axe was an incomparable existence. It was too domineering, a divine weapon from ancient times. It was a miracle from the origin ancient site. How could Mu Yunhe retreat now? You're courting death. The feather race will definitely not let you off. However, this time, you won't be able to take the treasure from my hands. Do you think the experts of the feather race are all vegetarians? Although you are very strong, you want to eat all of us with just a few people? That's just wishful thinking. Yan Fei shouted, his gaze cold. He was also full of confidence in this battle. However, even if they defeated Mu Yunhe and the others, they would definitely suffer great losses. However, for the future of the feather race, for their great cause, they had no regrets even if they died 9 times. Soldiers of the feather race, listen to my command. For the great cause of the feather race, for our future, kill without mercy. Kill without mercy. Kill without mercy. Kill without mercy. Their voices reverberated throughout the dragon-subduing mountain range. The surrounding sky became as dark as ink. Waves of echoes shook the heavens and the earth changed color. The soldiers of the feather race were fearless under Yan Fei's lead. Their mission was glorious. They would fight for the feather race until the very last moment. When the sandpiper and the clam fight, the fisherman benefits. Take your time. I want to see who will have the last laugh. Chapter 50-45. At this moment, Jiang Chen was sitting on top of the mountain and reaping the spoils. He hid at the back, but the feather people were already itching to fight against Old Monster Li Shan. The battle was about to begin. Old Monster Li Shan's strength could not be underestimated. Yan Fei was very shocked, so he had to be even more careful. If he failed this mission, then the feather race would lose too many things. Moreover, everything he had painstakingly prepared for the past tens of thousands of years would all go to someone else. What Yan Fei hated the most now was that he didn't know which bastard had betrayed the feather race. If someone hadn't leaked the secret, no one would have known that they had come to Milan Planet. However, it was too late to say anything now. They could only fight with their backs to the wall. Fortunately, Old Monster Li Shan had only sent 4 people. If a few more had come, he definitely wouldn't have been able to handle it. As long as there was a chance of survival, he definitely wouldn't let it go. These people had come for the treasures, and so had the feather race. This battle of life and death concerned everyone's future. Everyone's life and death was their responsibility. Kill them. For the dignity of the feather race, for our glory, we can only win this battle. We can't lose. Yan Fei roared angrily. More than 2,000 experts from the feather race were fighting the enemy at this time. Although they were all at the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th heavens of the star level, their strength varied. But even ants could bite an elephant to death. After all, there were hundreds of star-level experts. Even if it was a star-level expert, they still had to be careful, not daring to be careless. However, the most frightening thing was that Mu Yunhe and his wife had already reached the 7th stratum of the star realm. No one was a match for them. Yan Fei led more than 26 stratum star realm experts to surround Mu Yunhe. On the other side, his wife, Yang Chaoer, was also surrounded by more than 26 stratum star realm experts. Compared to his son and daughter, Mu Yunhe's sense of danger was stronger. After all, even if his son and daughter were to face hundreds or thousands of star states, they wouldn't have no way out. Those people were all early-stage star states. Even if they couldn't beat them, they wouldn't be trapped. They would be able to escape. However, facing Yan Fei and the other 26th firmament star realm experts, Mu Yunhe's expression turned grave. The difference of one firmament star realm didn't seem like much, but it was like the difference between heaven and earth. With so many people at the 6th firmament star realm, this battle wouldn't be easy. Old woman, kill them. To seize the divine artifact for my son. Mu Yunhe said in a deep voice. He waved the black staff in his hand and swept it across the sky, pressing towards Yan Fei and the others. All right, whatever my son wants, I'll get it even if I have to risk my life. Yang Chaoer's expression was gloomy as she sneered. Wherever her blade went, a fierce battle ensued. After all, Yan Fei was the leader of the feather race. For this feather race expedition, he had made ample preparations. Hence, even if they were to face a strong enemy, he was still methodical. With so many star level 6 experts, he was very confident. Only by killing Mu Yunhe would the feather race be able to rest easy. Old Monster Lishan and the others were all fugitives. If they wanted to kill these four, they had to kill them all. Otherwise, they would become a problem in the future. Now that they knew about the Feather Race's treasure and had come prepared, the two sides were evenly matched. In an instant, the battle entered a stalemate. Jiang Chen watched with great interest from the side. At this time, the Feather Race had no advantage. Yan Fei and the others had trapped Mu Yunhe, but killing a 7th Firmament Star Realm powerhouse wasn't that easy. The battle intensified as the Feather Race counterattacked. What Mu Yunhe hadn't expected was that his son and daughter would be forced into a passive position and trapped by the Feather Race's formation. One person could not turn the tide. They were all Star Realm experts. Even Mu Yunhe wasn't completely confident. His son was forced into a passive position, and the Feather Race was already prepared. With the formation in place, the two of them were in an even more difficult situation. "Dad, I can't hold on much longer. Dad, save me." Mu Dabiao and Mu Xiaozue were advancing with caution at every step. They were in a difficult situation and were faced with difficulties and dangers. "Hold on, son. I'll take care of them and come for you." Mu Yunhe stood up furiously. The walking stick in his hand stirred up endless gales that overflowed with might. Universe opening. Dragon subduing staff. Mu Yunhe charged left and right, his battle prowess shocking. Even when surrounded by more than 20 people, he was still able to walk leisurely. His strength was extraordinary. But Yan Fei and the others were not to be trifled with. They had already found Mu Yunhe's weakness, and that was to fight him to the death. The Feather Race would deal with Mu Dabiao and Mu Xiaozue. As long as those two were killed, they could surround Mu Yunhe and kill him without a doubt. "Bastard! Get out of my way!" Mu Yunhe was furious. His son and daughter were in an increasingly difficult situation, and he was getting more and more furious. But Yan Fei and the others were like dogskin plaster, clinging to him and refusing to let him go. He couldn't do anything else. "Want to leave? Humph, not so easy." Yan Fei sneered. More than 20 people fighting with their full strength was also very terrifying. The battle was very bitter. Mu Yunhe, Yan Fei and the others were all injured, but they still fought to the death. Yan Fei wanted to trap Mu Yunhe, and Mu Yunhe wanted to escape to save his son and daughter. In the end, he had overestimated his son Mu Dabiao. With more than 1,000 star-level experts working together, even if Mu Dabiao had the ability to reverse the situation, he would not be able to break out. Saber after saber slashes landed on Mu Dabiao's body. Finally, he could not hold on any longer. Blood spurted out of his mouth, and his face was filled with despair. "Save me, father." Mu Dabiao's voice was heart-wrenching. Yang Qiaoer and Mu Yunhe's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. But at this time, they were both trapped by Yan Fei and the others, unable to advance or retreat. Seeing Mu Dabiao falling to the ground, the Feather Race's people swallowed him up and instantly dismembered him. Mu Yunhe did not dare to look at such a tragic scene. Blood splattered everywhere. Desperate roars shook the sky, echoing above Milan's star for a long time. Mu Yunhe's heart skipped a beat, and his face was ashen. "My son." Yang Qiaoer's pupils constricted. She tried her best to break through the Feather Race's defense, but her mind was in a mess. In her panic, she was hit several times and was forced to retreat. Mu Yunhe flew into a rage out of humiliation. He gripped his black staff and charged into the crowd like a mad bull, unbridled. "Do you think I'm afraid of fighting you head-on?" Yan Fei sneered. Chapter 50-46. Qu'est-ce. How tragic. Jiang Chen couldn't help but shake his head. His expression was calm as he smiled at the storm. Mu Dabiao was killed, and Mu Xiaozue was surrounded. She retreated with every blow, and it was only a matter of time before she died. As for Yang Qiaoer, who was distracted by her worries, she was also heavily injured. Only Mu Yunhe was left, trapped by Yan Fei's Big Dipper formation. Bang! 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 Mu Yunhe charged forward again and again, slamming into the formation. Yan Fei and the others were confused, but Mu Yunhe didn't have it easy either. Yan Fei had long since prepared this formation to deal with powerful enemies, just in case he needed it. Mu Yunhe was trapped by the formation, but he was still a level 7 star-level expert. At this moment, he tore a hole in the formation and swung his staff at Yan Fei. Yan Fei acted as though he was facing a formidable enemy. His face was pale as he quickly retreated, wielding his sword to meet the incoming attack. A huge force came crashing down, and Yan Fei had no way to avoid it. He was directly sent flying. His expression was extremely ferocious as he clenched his fists tightly. The web between his thumb and forefinger was torn. Damn it! This guy is really a monster. Yan Fei's heart was in turmoil. Careful. A starving camel is still bigger than a horse. Don't underestimate the enemy. Yan Fei roared and charged forward again, heading straight for Mu Yunhe. At this time, something even crazier happened to Mu Yunhe. Mu Xiaotsue was also drowned in the wave of feather experts. Billions of star-level experts completely tore Mu Xiaotsue, a 6th firmament star-level expert, apart. Mu Yunhe and Yang Chaoer's faces were deathly pale. Their roars shook the sky, especially Yang Chaoer. Now that both her children had been killed, she had lost all hope. Under the siege of so many experts, she quickly fell into a situation of life and death. With a slash of his saber, Yang Chaoer was ultimately outnumbered and killed. At that moment, Mu Yunhe went completely crazy. His family had all been killed. At this time, he could only fight to the death. Although the feather race had also lost hundreds of star-level experts, in Mu Yunhe's eyes, their deaths were nothing. The death of his family was his greatest pain. Roar! I'll kill you all! Mu Yunhe shouted himself hoarse as he stood up with his staff in hand. At this time, Yan Fei and the others had finished their preparations and were ready to attack again. Mu Yunhe fought with Yan Fei and the others for a long time, advancing step by step. His situation was becoming more and more worrying. He knew that he had fallen into a passive position and that his chances of survival were slim. If he continued to tangle with the harpies, he would probably die. The mountains will not change, and the rivers will continue to flow. Let's wait and see. Winged race, what a winged race. I, Patriarch Li Shan, will definitely find you. A debt of blood must be repaid with blood. Ah! Bloodlight evasion. Mu Yunhe used all his strength to break out of the encirclement. He fled far into the distance, instantly disappearing into the horizon. At this moment, even if Yan Fei and the others wanted to chase after him, they would not be able to accomplish anything. A star level 7 being injured and fleeing far away, it was impossible for them to catch up. Don't chase a cornered enemy. Forget it, Yan Fei said in a low voice. It was not that he did not want to chase, but that he could not. At this time, if Mu Yunhe wanted to fight to the death with them, more than a dozen star level 6 experts would die. They had already suffered heavy losses in this battle, so they did not dare to fight head-on. However, Mu Yunhe's departure was a bad thing for Yan Fei and the entire winged race. The winged race had schemed to come here to steal the treasure without anyone knowing, but in the end, it had still been discovered. This time, old demon Li Shan would definitely gather more people to make things difficult for the winged race. However, this place was still a long way from Sky Tyrant Starfield. This was enough time for them to steal the treasure. The most important thing for Yan Fei now was to take the treasure away as soon as possible. Mu Yunhe's appearance had seriously disrupted Yan Fei's plans. Mu Yunhe's departure would probably take at least a few years before he could return. This time, Yan Fei had learned his lesson. However, the winged race's treasure was not something that anyone could touch. No one can steal my treasure. The glory of the winged race is unstoppable. Yan Fei roared angrily. In this battle, they had lost more than 400 star-level experts, but they had finally won. At this time, the most important thing was to seize the time to dig up more treasures. The winged race had suffered heavy casualties, but they had not been seriously injured. Jiang Chen could not help but frown. He had thought that old demon Li Shan was a ruthless character, but he had not been able to stop the winged race. It seemed like it would not be easy for him to fight them. Jiang Chen's eyes flickered as an idea struck him. He swiftly fled into the distance. Let's go. Jiang Chen sent a telepathic message to Luo Ying, and the two of them quickly flew into the universe. What are you doing? Luo Ying asked in disbelief. Could it be that Jiang Chen was afraid of the winged race? After seeing old demon Li Shan and the other two die at the hands of the winged race, did Jiang Chen want to retreat? Go chase after Mu Yunhe and be a good person for once. The corners of Jiang Chen's mouth curled up into a meaningful smile. Be a good person? If we leave now, what will happen to Milan Planet, Brother Jiang? Luo Ying was slightly worried. Who said we are leaving? Jiang Chen smiled. Then where are we going? Luo Ying did not understand. Didn't I say that we are going to be a good person for once? If we can bring old demon Li Shan back to our lair as soon as possible, the winged race will not be so arrogant. Jiang Chen narrowed his eyes. What? Brother Jiang, you're playing with fire. You have no idea how many people are behind that so-called old demon of Mount Li. Even the feather race is wary of him. These people are definitely not simple. What you're doing is no different from asking a tiger for its skin. Luo Ying turned pale with fright. I don't know if it is asking a tiger for its skin, but we are currently not their match. If we want to get rid of the winged race, we must borrow a knife to do so. Hence, if we can get old demon Li Shan to help us find helpers to deal with the winged race, it will be a win-win situation. Jiang Chen smiled. It's too dangerous to do this. Luo Ying shook her head. Then tell me, now that Milan planet has become a wasteland and countless people have died, how are you going to defeat the winged race and restore Milan planet to its former glory? Jiang Chen's words caused Luo Ying to fall silent. Indeed, she had no idea. Even with her stellar-level energy, she did not have the ability to turn the tide. Let's go. What are we waiting for? If we wait any longer, that old demon Li Shan will be far away. Jiang Chen laughed. Borrowing a knife to kill was the only way to put the winged race in a desperate situation. However, as Luo Ying had said, there was a powerful force behind old demon Li Shan. Jiang Chen was also very apprehensive. Chapter 50-47. Jiang Chen might not be able to defeat so many feather elites, but if old monster Li Shan could bring people over, then there would be a chance. He might have retreated with heavy injuries, but old monster Li Shan would definitely not let it go. Plus, the feather race was their enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Hence, Jiang Chen's goal now was to cooperate with Mu Yunhe. Mu Yunhe had already left Milan long ago. However, he was heavily injured after all. Hence, his speed was not fast. It didn't take long for Jiang Chen to catch up to him. Who are you? Why are you following me? Mu Yunhe panted as he looked at Jiang Chen, his gaze soft and guarded. I'm here to help you. Jiang Chen smiled. Help me? Ha ha, what a joke. Even if I'm in dire straits, it's not your turn to play tricks on me. A mere star level 5. What can you do to help me? Mu Yunhe sneered in disdain. Then how did I catch up to you? Jiang Chen said calmly. Mu Yunhe was stunned. That's right. Although this fellow wasn't strong, only at the 5th heavenly layer of the star realm, he managed to catch up to him. Who are you? What do you want? Mu Yunhe's smile faded as he sized up Jiang Chen again. I told you I want to help you. Time waits for no man. Jiang Chen said solemnly. The feather race killed your family, so I can help you get back to the Sky Tyrant Starfield to get reinforcements and kill the feather race. Are you sure? Mu Yunhe's eyes narrowed. Why should I believe you? Do you have the ability to take me to the Sky Tyrant Starfield? Ha ha, dream on. Do you know how far the Sky Tyrant Starfield is from here? No matter how fast I am, I would need at least a few months. Furthermore, I would need to travel without rest or sleep. This is because the Milan star is very close to the Sky Tyrant star domain. If I were from another star domain, it would be impossible for me to reach the Sky Tyrant star domain. I would need at least a few years to return to the Sky Tyrant star domain and my star domain. By the time I return, the Feather Tribe would have fled. Mu Yunhe laughed self-deprecatingly. How could he not want revenge? His family members had all died at the hands of the Feather Tribe. This was a deep hatred that he could not live under the same sky as them. However, due to the current circumstances, it would be good enough if he could return to the Sky Tyrant Starfield as soon as possible. Too many things had changed in the past few years. If I can catch up to you, it means that I have the ability. Since I came to find you, I definitely won't come for nothing. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. I also have an irreconcilable hatred with the Feather Clan. My sister was humiliated by that bastard Yen Fei, and there are also many experts from the Feather Clan. I can't do anything alone, so I can only wait for an opportunity. Jiang Chen said solemnly. You are also an enemy of the Harpies? Mu Yunhe said. Yes, my hatred for the Feather Tribe is no less than yours. However, my strength is limited, and I am only one person. You are the famous old ancestor Li Shan of the Sky Tyrant Starfield. There are many experts among you. I admire you, but it's a pity that I can't work with you. I know that as long as I can help you return to the Sky Tyrant Starfield, you will definitely help me take revenge. No, you will definitely kill those sanctimonious people from the Feather Tribe. That's why I want to work with you. Jiang Chen's face was filled with anger. He was extremely angry at the mention of the Feather Tribe. You make it sound good. I know that you are not here for the treasure. Since you can find this place, it means that you are also after the treasure of the Feather Tribe. Mu Yunhe said in a low voice. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't have the guts to do it. With my strength, I wouldn't dare to go against the Yu clan or fight with you. I just want to take revenge. I followed Yen Fatesai to this place after so many hardships. But to take revenge, it would be as difficult as ascending to heaven. When I see you, I see hope. Only by working together will we have a chance to kill Yen Fei and those bastards from the Feather Tribe. My strength cannot be compared to yours. I only hope that you can kill Yen Fei. If I can't kill those people with my own hands, I will be ashamed to face my sister's spirit in heaven. But now, this is the only way. Jiang Chen's words were sincere and well-intentioned. At this moment, Mu Yunhe finally believed Jiang Chen. After all, Mu Yunhe wasn't afraid of Jiang Chen even if Jiang Chen was at his peak. He could easily see through Jiang Chen's tricks. I have no enmity with you, and you don't have any treasures on you. I will not kill you for money. Big brother, I just want you to help me take revenge. As long as I can kill those bastards from the Feather Tribe, I will give up everything. Mu Yunhe looked at Jiang Chen and sized him up. He finally believed Jiang Chen. This guy would not dare to lie to him. Otherwise he would kill him with one slap. Tell me, what method do you have that will allow me to quickly return to the Sky Tyrant cosmic state and gather people? I will tear those bastards from the Feather Tribe to pieces. Mu Yunhe gritted his teeth. His hatred unparalleled. My space travel secret treasure. Jiang Chen said. What? Really? At the same time, Mu Yunhe's eyes were as big as bells. Space travel secret treasures were something even cosmic cloud states might not have. Above the star state was the cosmic cloud state. However, those treasures could travel between space and time. It wasn't something ordinary people could have. If cosmic cloud states could have space travel treasures, they would hide them. Yet, this guy revealed it to the public? Mu Yunhe didn't even understand the principle of not showing off one's wealth. His eyes burned with passion. Killing and robbing was his job. Revenge was secondary. The most important thing right now was this kind of treasure. It was something that could only be found once in a million years, something that could only be chanced upon. Brother Mu, I advise you to be kind. Don't break our friendly relationship. Jiang Chen said plainly. At this moment, Luo Ying came out. Mu Yunhe's expression changed. No wonder this guy dared to reveal the treasure in front of him. This is my woman. Her power should be similar to Brother Mu's, but Brother Mu is injured. Don't get angry. It's better to be careful. What do you say, Brother Mu? Jiang Chen smiled elegantly. Yes, you're right. If you really have a space travel secret treasure, you can send me to the Sky Tyrant cosmic state within 7 days. By then, I will thank you heavily. Your grudge is my grudge. There's no difference between us. Ha ha ha. Mu Yunhe laughed. Seeing Luo Ying's appearance, he knew that he couldn't attack Jiang Chen anymore, at least not now. All right, I will send you back to the Sky Tyrant Starfield now. Chapter 50-48. Are you sure? Mu Yunhe looked at Jiang Chen in disbelief. What? You don't believe that I have a space-time treasure? Jiang Chen said. Have you used a space-time treasure before? I heard that there are many types of space-time treasures, and they require a large amount of origin force to be used. From here, which is the Heaven Awakening Starfield to the Sky Tyrant Starfield, the amount of source energy consumed is terrifying. Can you really activate the space-time treasure? Even with her, it might not be possible. Mu Yunhe said doubtfully. You don't believe me? Jiang Chen spread his hands and said, give me the exact location and coordinates, and I will take you back to the Sky Tyrant Starfield. Okay. Mu Yunhe didn't say much. Since Jiang Chen could take him back to the Sky Tyrant state, it was more important than anything else. However, if they were in Tyrant Sky Starfield, he would have the final say. At that time, he would definitely seize the treasure in Jiang Chen's hand. It was a space-time treasure, Not everyone was qualified to have it. Mu Yunhe was excited just thinking about it. Time was money. If he could use a space-time treasure, he would be able to roam the world freely. Mu Yunhe told Jiang Chen the location of the Sky Tyrant state. Jiang Chen controlled the Zhonglan God Boat and was ready to travel through space. With the Zhonglan God Boat, a distance of 100,000 light-years wouldn't be a problem. What a divine boat! Mu Yunhe's eyes were full of greed. The Zhonglan God Boat in Jiang Chen's hands was too beautiful. Such a space-time treasure could definitely shock cosmic cloud states. Let's begin. Sky Tyrant State, Pajuo State, depart. Jiang Chen didn't look away as he piloted the divine vessel and started to rise madly. He soared into the clouds, roaming between the heavens and the earth, above the universe. Your divine boat isn't bad, but you have to be prepared. It's a long way to go to Pajuo State in 7 days. Mu Yunhe said in a low voice. Piece of cake. Jiang Chen patted his chest and said. At this moment, Jiang Chen didn't put Mu Yunhe's words in his heart. However, on the 3rd day, Jiang Chen couldn't take it anymore. The Azure Billow Divine Boat was indeed terrifying, but it was too far away from Sky Tyrant Starfield. The amount of origin energy required to travel through the void was terrifying. Although Jiang Chen was very frugal, on the 4th morning, he still couldn't take it anymore. If it was someone else, they would have already collapsed. He didn't dare underestimate such a long-distance spatial leap. It seemed like he was still too young. Mu Yunhe's words weren't unreasonable. I can't take it anymore. You too. Hurry up and lend me a hand. My body can't take it anymore. Jiang Chen rolled his eyes. The main reason was that the distance was too far. Even though the Azure Wave Divine Boat was useful, the amount of source energy it consumed wasn't something he could bear. This was under the condition that the source energy in his body was extremely terrifying. An ordinary 5th heavenly layer star realm expert wouldn't be able to last more than half a day. I thought you wouldn't last half a day. I didn't expect you to be so vicious. Kid, Brother Mu has high hopes for you. Mu Yunhe couldn't help giving Jiang Chen a thumbs up. Jiang Chen's face was ashen. This guy was laughing at him. He wasn't a good person either. Hurry up. If we delay any longer, those feather bastards will escape. Jiang Chen said impatiently. All right. Mu Yunhe nodded. He and Luo Ying did their best to help Jiang Chen. At this moment, the Azure Billow Divine Boat gradually stabilized. Jiang Chen finally understood. He had used the Azure Billow Divine Boat before, but he didn't use it for such a long distance, so he didn't feel anything. Now that he had crossed 2 starfields, he finally understood how difficult it was. Even star states like Mu Yunhe would need a few years. If he was at the primary stage of the star state, it might take decades. Indeed, the distance between the 2 cosmic realms was too far. This was based on the fact that the 2 cosmic realms were right next to each other. If it was any further, the distance would be unimaginable. It was no wonder that there were very few interactions between the star domains. There would almost never be any battles between star domains. If a battle were to break out, the other party would have already fled before they could even arrive, unless they had a peerless treasure like the Azure Wave Divine Boat. However, not everyone had one. Even cosmic cloud states with treasures that could travel through space were rare. 3 days later, the 3 finally arrived at the Bo Duo astral realm. It was an incomparably dark planet, surrounded by mountains, rivers, and lakes. Its appearance was very primitive, and it had not undergone too many modifications. It looked very mysterious. We're finally here. Bo Duo astral realm. I'm back. Brothers of Li Shan. I'm back. Ha ha ha. Mu Yunhe's eyes were burning with passion. They were finally back at their territory. By the way, brother, why don't you come with me and rest at the Bo Duo astral realm first? When I get back, we can go to Milan planet together. No need, you can go back yourself. Jiang Chen said. Do you think I don't know what you're planning? Didn't you just want to trap me and snatch my deep-sea divine boat? Jiang Chen already knew what this old guy was thinking. However, he had to use Mu Yunhe in order to force the feather race to retreat. Now he had to go back and do a head count. My Porto astral boundary is very beautiful. Brother, you must go there. Otherwise, you will regret it. Mu Yunhe grabbed Jiang Chen's hand and got ready to head to the Bo Duo astral realm. Brother Mu, don't tell me that you want to force me to do something I'm not willing to do? Jiang Chen flicked his sleeves, shaking off Mu Yunha and said with a cold smile. Haha, what are you talking about, brother? Since you don't want to go, I won't force you. Let's meet on Milan Planet. Mu Yunha said. I still have things to do. I need to go to the Tyrant Sky Cosmic Region, so I won't be going back. My revenge will depend on you, Brother Mu. Jiang Chen smiled. You're not going back? Mu Yunha was a little disappointed. He didn't care about Jiang Chen, but he couldn't ignore the treasures on Jiang Chen. If Jiang Chen didn't return to Milan Planet, wouldn't his space-time treasure be ruined? However, Mu Yunha couldn't be too enthusiastic now. After all, his target was the feather race. The treasures on Milan Planet were the most important. The fact that Jiang Chen had sent him back had already shocked Mu Yunha. As long as he returned to the Bo Duo Astral Realm, going to Milan Planet wouldn't be that difficult. I'm not going back. Brother Mu, I believe that you will definitely be able to defeat the feather race. Goodbye. After saying that, Jiang Chen turned around and left. Mu Yunha was very disappointed. The treasures had run away, but he couldn't do anything about it. But this time, feather race, you definitely didn't expect that I would return to Li Mountain in 7 days. I will bury your feather race on Milan Planet. Chapter 50-49. Mu Yunha was not stupid. He knew that his visit this time would definitely be a secret. Even though he had many brothers on Li Mountain, he would not call all of them. Although he had yet to obtain the treasure, the fewer people who knew about it, the better. Otherwise, if there were too many wolves and not enough meat, the gains would not make up for the losses. Mu Yunha believed that as long as he could find 5-star realm experts, it would be enough to defeat the feather race. Any more would just be a burden. At that time, who wouldn't be happy if they didn't get the treasures? Thus, Mu Yunha only found 5 people, 5 of his closest brothers. Brothers, you are all my best friends. Even on Li Mountain, we are friends who can go through life and death with each other. That is why I only came to you. This time, I discovered that the feather race has found many treasures in the Heaven Enlightening Star System. The feather race is launching a large-scale attack and will definitely take those treasures for themselves. We must quickly attack and take their treasures. Mu Yunha said. The Heaven Awakening Star Region? Holy crap! How did you get back from so far away? By the time we get there, the winged race will have already left. Li Penglai said solemnly. That's right, Yunha. If we go there, we'll probably be too late. Can we really do it? The skinny Sunbin asked nervously. Yeah, can we really make it in time? What if we fail? Wouldn't that be like drawing water with a sieve? You still don't believe me? My wife and children all died there. I risked my life to escape back. Such a great hatred must be avenged. Also, I was sent back by a kind-hearted person. He had a rare treasure in his hands, but it was a pity that I didn't get it. We can use the teleportation array to go to the Heaven Enlightening Starfield. Mu Yunha said seriously. Teleportation formations? That'll cost a lot of origin stones. Li Penglai said. Fuck. Why are you guys so stingy? We're here for the treasure, so what's wrong with paying a few origin stones first? Do you know how valuable that treasure is? Don't you understand which side is lighter and which side is heavier? Mu Yunha rolled his eyes. Yunhe's words make sense. If we don't sacrifice our children, we won't be able to catch the wolf. Let's each contribute an origin stone and use the teleportation formation to go to the Heaven Awakening Starfield. Once we obtain the treasure, this bit of origin stone will be nothing. Sunbin said with a smile. That's right. Let's do it. After all, Yunha is absolutely right. If this treasure is taken by those B***cheese from the Feather Clan, it would be a huge loss. Our brothers from Mount Lishan must not lose out. Let me tell you, when I was on Milan Star, I saw a divine weapon from the ancient world. At that time, the feather race was dumbfounded. They mobilized thousands of star-level experts, but fortunately, they were only at the early stage of the star level. They secretly infiltrated Milan Star, and even the people of the Heaven Awakened Star region didn't know about it. Otherwise, how could they have allowed them to slaughter people on Milan Star? In the end, they captured everyone on Milan Star as slaves. The treasures they dug out were terrifying. That's right, when you get the treasures, you will know whether it was worth it or not. Something from the last era, TSK Tisk TSK. Just thinking about it makes me excited. Mu Yunhe said solemnly. His eyes were burning with passion. He had seen treasures before, so he was also very solemn. The 5 brothers looked at Mu Yunhe's expression and confirmed that Mu Yunhe's vote would not disappoint them. Let's do it. Damn it, isn't it just origin stones? We'll use it for cultivation. Right, with Brother Yunhe here, what are we afraid of? Ha ha ha. Let's go, let's not waste any more time. Things might change if we delay. Everyone seemed to be on steroids. When they heard that it was another antique treasure from the previous era, their eyes widened. This time, they definitely had to investigate. The fact that the feather race was so secretive meant that they definitely knew about the existence of the treasure. Mu Yunhe being able to discover the feather race's secret was also their good fortune. Right, Brother Yunhe, are you sure that the 6 of us can trample the feather race? Sun Bin asked. Don't worry, the strongest among them is only at the 6th heaven of the star level. It's a pity that my wife and children died in their hands. I will definitely kill all the people of the Feather Clan on Milan's star. Mu Yunhe's face was extremely gloomy. At this time, the group of people set off towards the transportation array. Only the transportation array could allow them to arrive as soon as possible. At this time, Jiang Chen and Luo Ying had already returned to Milan planet. Looking at the blue planet from afar, Jiang Chen's expression was serious. More than half of the people on Milan planet died this time. It's already a scene of devastation. I hope that we can catch all the feather race in one fell swoop. Jiang Chen sighed. That's not something we can control. No one would have thought that the feather race would send so many experts to Milan planet to search for treasures. Now, we can only pin our hopes on Mu Yunhe. Luo Ying smiled bitterly. Big brother Jiang, are you sure that they will return? Don't worry, the feather race has already killed Mu Yunhe's wife and children. Even if the feather race finds a treasure, it will be enough to stop him. Mu Yunhe is a fugitive. He will not let this matter rest. You have to understand that the feather race is afraid of old monster Li, which means that he is very strong. He will definitely make a comeback. Jiang Chen was full of confidence. If we can't kill the feather race, then let them fight each other. Ha ha ha, who knows who will be the winner? We have to do a good deed without leaving our names. You think you can do a good deed? Ha ha ha, but I hope that Mu Yunhe will not summon all the experts on Li Mountain. Otherwise our plan will fail. Luo Ying was somewhat worried. As long as Mu Yunhe is not stupid, he will not announce the treasure to the world. When that time comes, how many treasures will they get? He will definitely find a few companions of similar strength. Not many, at most 5. If they can control the feather race, that will be enough. Jiang Chen swore solemnly. Are you saying that I am stupid? Luo Ying said angrily. I didn't say that. Jiang Chen shrugged. That's what you mean. Why are you women so unreasonable? Jiang Chen was speechless. Are you crazy? Isn't reasoning with women just asking for trouble? Luo Ying laughed. The 2 of them headed straight for the Tiger Subdue mountain range. Just as Jiang Chen reached the Tiger Subdue mountain range, the feather race was still digging. Half a month had passed, but they still had not taken all the treasures. This was enough to show that the treasures in this treasure trove would definitely shock them. At this moment, the space in the distance fluctuated continuously. The appearance of the 6 figures caused the hidden Jiang Chen's lips to curl up slightly. Chapter 50-50. This is already the 8th treasure. He, Commander Yen, we've struck it rich this time. We've really struck it rich. Lu Junfei was grinning from ear to ear. As the vanguard, he had been praised by Yen Fei many times. They had already dug up 8 treasures. The 8th was a 7-story pagoda. It looked magnificent and exquisitely carved. Genesis Chi continuously gushed out from it, causing countless feather race members to cheer even louder. Even Yen Fei could not hide the joy in his heart at this moment. Although they had lost a few hundred people this time around, the rewards they had reaped were unimaginable. With so many treasures, the strength of the Yu clan would definitely rise to another level. As the leader of this operation, the rewards he could reap were also unimaginable. His many years of hard work had not been in vain. Thousands of stellar-level experts had massacred Milan Star just for this day. Even old monster Li Shan had been driven away by them. However, if that guy wanted to take revenge, he would have to wait for 10 years. By that time, even if he appeared in front of Yi Shiwen, Yi Shiwen's strength would probably be much stronger than before. Only strength could truly make people feel gratified. Yan Fei's heart was incomparably solemn. When Mu Yunhe killed many of their people and escaped, Yan Fei secretly swore that he would definitely raise his strength to a new level. This time, he would definitely be the first to pick the treasures. In the ancient world, the treasures left behind by super experts from different eras, even if the mountains and rivers were toppled and the sun and moon were replaced, were still able to survive until now. This was what shocked him the most. Commander Yen, we've dug up a human figurine. What? Is that for real? Is it a mummy? *T mummy. It's been so many years. It's a person from the previous era. Even his bones have rotted away. That's right. If it's a moving corpse, it would be terrible. Ha! Shut up. Commander Yen is here. Everyone's expressions were solemn, not daring to say another word. When Yan Fei arrived underground, his expression also became more and more nervous. They had dug out someone. In other words, this person was definitely a big shot from billions of years ago, a legendary figure from back then, and had survived from the previous era until now. How powerful must this expert be? Time was the most merciless blade. Those who could avoid the passage of time and transcend 2 epochs were all unimaginably powerful experts. Every time an epoch was destroyed, the heavens would fall and the earth would crack. Many supreme experts, no matter how strong they were, would become the dust of history. Yet, the origin ancient ruins had been perfectly preserved. This was sufficient to show exactly how powerful the experts inside were back then. They really are human figurines. Lu Junfei was shocked. This human figurine was wrapped in source stones, but he could clearly see its silhouette. The golden mask completely covered its face. Because they were afraid of damaging the figurine, Lu Junfei and the others did not dare to directly break the source stones surrounding the figurine. They only dug the figurine out. Commander Yen, this guy should be worth a lot of origin stones, right? Lu Junfei chuckled. Yan Fei glanced at him coldly and disdainfully. You only care about source stones. Do you know who this person is? This is an almighty expert from the previous epoch. If you can refine him into a puppet, even if he's not invincible, he'll definitely be unimaginable. Yes. Commander Yen is right. Lu Junfei nodded his head continuously. Yan Fei carefully observed it, but he didn't discover anything strange about it. However, the simple and unadorned aura it exuded seemed to be from its bones. This was a crystal-like origin stone, and the human figurine was within it. However, whether or not this figurine could be made into a puppet was another matter. This was also the only thing that Yan Fei couldn't see through. Yan Fei was very clear that the other divine weapons and armors were definitely rare treasures. There was also a mysterious book. Yan Fei had not been able to open the book box, so he did not know what kind of treasure it was. However, since it could be sealed in the book box, it was enough to tell that it was extraordinary. Even a 6th-grade battle weapon could not break the book box. Now, only this human figurine and the book box could make him excited. Let's wrap this human figurine up first. Yan Fei said in a deep voice as he gently stroked the human figurine. He was very fond of it. Let's work harder. Within a month, we must open up all the tunnels here as soon as possible. I want to clear out all the source stone mines and the origin ancient ruins. All right, just wait and see, Commander Yen. Lu Junfei nodded. All right, why haven't I seen Gaselier after so long? Where did he go? Yan Fei asked. I guess he's dead. He disappeared when we were fighting against the old demons of Mount Lishan. Lu Junfei frowned. He was also curious as to why Gaselier had disappeared. Let's not think too much about it. Let's clear this place first. Milan Planet is no longer safe. If that guy who escaped returns and calls for reinforcements, we'll be in a very passive position. Yan Fei's expression was solemn. He had been feeling his right eyelid twitching for the past 2 days. He was worried that something might happen. Leaving Milan Planet as soon as possible was the most important thing. Commander Yen, don't worry. We've done a good job keeping this secret. Although the old demon of Mount Lishan escaped, this place is so far away from Sky Tyrant Starfield. He definitely won't be able to return so quickly. In the entire Sky Tyrant Starfield, there isn't a teleportation portal that can travel that far. You can rest assured. Lu Junfei had a solemn expression on his face. Thief, give me your life. Today we, the 6 patriarchs, We'll wipe out all of you feather tribesmen. An earth-shattering roar shook the heavens and earth. Many feather tribesmen were shocked, especially Lu Junfei, who had an ugly expression on his face. The corners of his mouth twitched. He had been solemn just now, but now he was so scared that he almost peed his pants. 6 Sky Star State experts stood in the void. Not to mention Lu Junfei. Even Yan Fei's face was full of worry and disbelief. How could this be? He. Why is he here again? Lu Junfei stammered. His face was dark, and he was panicking inside. Lu Junfei was dumbfounded. He had just been bragging to Commander Yan, and now he had been slapped in the face. This speed was even faster than Mu Yunhe's return. 6 Sky Star State experts had made a comeback. Now, it was time for the feather tribesmen to feel fear. Moreover, they had killed Mu Yunhe's family. They would definitely fight to the death in this battle. How would I know? If we lose this battle, I'll make you my scapegoat. Chapter 50-51. Yan Fei's stomach was full of anger, and he had nowhere to vent it. This Lu Junfei was simply a despicable person. He was too despicable. What he feared had come true. He had thought that Mu Yunhe would not return after leaving this time. He had not expected that in just half a month, he would gather 5 experts, all at the 7th sky of the Star Realm. What should he do? All the Feather Race members were scared witless. They were filled with shock. These 6 people would definitely put them in a disadvantageous position. It was unknown how many more people would fall. Back then, the 4 old demons of Mount Lishan had completely annihilated them. Although 3 of them had been killed, they had also lost more than 300 people. They had paid a heavy price. I didn't know that they would come back. Lu Junfei mumbled. He was also trembling in fear. This time, Mu Yunhe was much more arrogant than before. The 6th-7th sky of the Star Realm experts made them feel suffocated. Mu Yunhe, what are you doing? I advise you not to dig your own grave. You're digging your own grave. You'd better not get involved in the affairs of the Feather Race. Otherwise, we'll kill you. Yan Fei said in a low voice. He could only use his identity as a member of the Feather Race. He did not want to fight this battle. No matter what the final outcome was, 70 to 80% of his people would be injured or killed. It was not impossible for them to be completely wiped out. He was the clearest about Mu Yunhe's strength. After this battle, they could no longer afford to suffer losses, and Mu Yunhe had called for reinforcements. This time, these reinforcements were not people that those unripe melon eggs could compare to. This time, Mu Yunhe had clearly come to kill them. Now, what made Yan Fei feel the most despair was how they could appear here so quickly. Even if they went to the Sky Tyrant Starfield, it would take at least 10 years. How could they be transported here in such a short time? He didn't understand, but the name of the Feather Race might not be useful against these fugitives. Adding on the fact that Mu Yunhe's wife and child had been killed, Mu Yunhe no longer cared about anything else. Right now, his heart was filled with more hatred than reason. Mu Yunhe's determination in this battle was displayed. He wouldn't rest until he was dead. Harpies? You harpies are the ones I'm attacking. You've killed someone close to me, so just wait for your punishment in this battle. I will crush you all with my own hands. I will crush all of you and scatter your souls. Mu Yunhe's voice was deafening. The feather people trembled in fear, but they had no way out. This is what it means when the sandpiper and the clam fight. The fisherman reaps the benefits. These 2 groups will probably both suffer heavy losses. Jiang Chen chuckled as he lay on top of the mountain, silently watching this scene. He would sit on top of the mountain and watch the tigers fight. When the 2 groups were locked in a fierce battle, it would be time for him to appear. These old demons of Mount Li are just as you said. Not a single one of them is more or less. I really admire you. Luo Ying said with a smile. Then why aren't you rubbing my legs? Jiang Chen said. Dream on. Bah. Luo Ying rolled her eyes at Jiang Chen as she spoke disdainfully, her cheeks blushing. At this moment, Jiang Chen and Luo Ying were flirting, but the people of the Feather Race were shivering in fear. Mu Yunhe and the other 5 experts were the source of their fear. To them, they were the most lethal weapons. You bastards from Mount Li, I will not let you off. Our Yu clan will definitely not let you get away scot-free. This time, unless you step over my body, I, Yan Fei, will definitely not lower my head. You are not fit to snatch what belongs to the Yu clan. Yan Fei roared. Yan Fei knew that there was no leeway in this battle. He had to fight to the death to salvage the situation. For the sake of these treasures and the future of the feather race, Yan Fei had gambled all his chances and even the lives of thousands of star-grade experts. Most of these people were the cornerstones of the feather race. Star-grade experts were not easy to deal with, no matter where they were. How stubborn. Why are you still wasting time talking to them? Yunhe, let's finish this. Li Peng said with a sinister smile. He had been waiting impatiently for a long time. He rubbed his palms together, eager to get into action. Right, why are we still wasting time talking to them? They're just a bunch of trash. If we want to kill them, we can do it in a matter of minutes. Sunbin also could not wait any longer. They wanted to see if this treasure was worth it for them to travel thousands of miles and spend a lot of source stones to activate the formation. Kill without mercy. Mu Yunhe shouted. The two sides were at daggers drawn. Finally, there was no need to hide anything. A great battle erupted, shaking the entire dragon-subduing mountain range. The 6 of them were all able to fight 1 against 100. It was not difficult for one of them to suppress hundreds of star-grade experts. A battle between experts was that simple and brutal. There was nothing fancy about it. Mu Yunhe blocked dozens of star-level 6 experts. He did not dare to take this battle lightly. Although they had more experts and were more ruthless, the feather race had an overwhelming advantage in terms of numbers. They had to be careful in this battle. Fight with me. Warriors are heroes. The feather race has never had cowards. Yan Fei shouted angrily. Fight! Fight, fight, fight! Sun Bin and Li Peng rushed to the front. Hundreds of star-level experts were fighting with all their might. For the sake of treasures, for the sake of increasing their strength, they were also very cautious. The star level hadn't changed for thousands of years. Everyone wanted to break through, so who was willing to be stuck in the same old rut? The fact that there were so many feather people here was the best proof. It was just a Milan star, but the feather race had so many experts. It seemed that Mu Yunhe's words were not false at all. For the treasure, for the sake of victory, they could not afford to be careless. A massacre of life and death had begun. Although Mu Yunhe and the others were strong, they were still surrounded by so many star-grade experts. The clash between the two sides could be said to be evenly matched. If this continued, no one would be able to see through the depth of the battle. It would be very confusing. Yan Fei led the feather race experts to fight back. Even if they knew how these people had made a comeback, it would be meaningless. They had to survive and bring the treasure back to the feather race. That was what they needed to do. The battle was extremely intense. Li Peng, Sun Bin, and the others gradually found it difficult to move forward. Each of them had to face 400 star-grade experts. This was no laughing matter. The intensity of the battle was getting more and more worrying. Whether it was the feather race or Mu Yunhe, they were all extremely cautious, afraid that they would fall into a trap of death. Chapter 4696. Battle Roars of Despair. The battle between the two sides was in a stalemate. Although Mu Yunhe and the others were gradually gaining the upper hand, if they wanted to kill the feather race, they would suffer a great loss. Some of them might even die here. But the battle still continued. Whether they wanted to admit it or not, this battle would make it difficult for them to move forward. More and more star-grade experts were dying. They were all early-stage star-grade experts. They could not dodge the heavy attacks of Mu Yunhe and the others. However, Mu Yunhe, Sun Bin, and the others were also having a harder time. Their injuries were worsening. If they could last until the end, it would be hard to say who would emerge victorious. Damn it, these guys are fighting with their lives on the line. Do they not want to live anymore? Sun Bin was extremely depressed. However, these guys were already prepared to die. The feather race was advancing wave after wave, and their injuries were worsening. They might end up like his wife and son. They don't want to live, but we don't want to live either. We'll drag a few hundred down with us even if we have to. A bunch of early-stage star-grade trash wants to stop us? Impossible. Mu Yunhe had made a comeback. This time, he would not retreat even half a step. It was all for this day. Yan Fei was defending his camp to the death, and old demon Li Shan was not to be trifled with. If they slacked off, these guys might take advantage of them. Fortunately, they had enough people this time. Even if they lost a few hundred people, they still had more than 2,000 people. The defeated soldiers faced off against the heavily injured Mu Yunhe and the others. Both sides were evenly matched, and both sides were constantly whittling away at each other's strength. In the blink of an eye, the battle had lasted for 3 days and 3 nights. The sky was dark, and the feather race had suffered over 1,000 casualties. Only 1,500 remained. As for Mu Yunhe and the others, they were already panting from exhaustion. Their injuries were also increasing. When do we make our move? Luo Ying glanced at Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen frowned. Stop dawdling. It looks like they are both testing each other's limits. If no one makes a move in the end, then they are using the battle to fuel the battle. If this continues, it won't even count as a drawn-out battle. They are all afraid of losing because they can't afford to lose. If the feather race loses, they have been preparing for many years. If Mu Yunhe and the others lose, they will completely fall, suffering a double loss. It looks like they both want to wear down the others' patience and see what their limits are. Luo Ying said in deep thought. Of course. Jiang Chen knew that he had to make a move. He was not in the mood to continue wasting time with these people. He wanted to sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight. Their strength was almost completely exhausted. Now that he had made a move, it was time to clean up the battlefield. Isn't it still early? Luo Ying laughed. It's not early. They are both wearing down the others' patience. It is a good time for us to give them a head-on blow. Both their strength and spirit are almost exhausted. If we wait until both sides are heavily injured, they will not be stupid. As long as the other side does not use any killing moves, they will fight a drawn-out battle. No one is willing to make the first move. Whoever makes the first move will reveal their trump card. Jiang Chen muttered. It was time for them to make a head-on attack. Black King. Here. The Black King instantly appeared beside Jiang Chen. He could not wait any longer. He had been watching this battle in the dark. It had been 3 days and 3 nights. It was time for them to make a move. Later, you and Luo Ying will deal with old monster Lishan and his group. I will fight the entire feather race alone. Jiang Chen laughed. Are you sure? Luo Ying said with a faint smile. A starving camel is still bigger than a horse. You have to be careful. There are more than 1,500 stellar-level experts and dozens of 6th-level stellar-level experts. Even if they are all exhausted, they cannot be underestimated. You must not let your guard down. Jiang Chen naturally understood Luo Ying's worries. However, he also wanted to see how strong his strongest combat power was. After obtaining the inheritance of the Emperor Cosmos, today's battle would be his strongest opponent. This battle would be a good opportunity for him to test what kind of experts he could fight and how many people he could defeat. Jiang Chen's goal was to kill all the feather race members. Jiang Chen's goal was to wipe out this sinister, cunning and vicious race from the eternal world. This was his ambition. Master will definitely not lose, the Black King said firmly. Look, even the Black King knows better than you that I will not lose. Jiang Chen patted his chest and vowed. It's just a group of defeated soldiers. Even if I win, there is nothing to brag about. Jiang Chen shook his head. At this time, he leapt down from the mountain. Ha ha ha, Brother Mu, how have you been? I didn't think we would meet again so soon. Jiang Chen laughed heartily. It's you? Little friend. Hurry up and lend me a hand. After we kill these feather race members, we can catch up. Mu Yunhe laughed heartily. All right. Then I will help you. Don't be afraid, Brother Mu. Jiang Chen shouted. Who are you? Yan Fei's expression was frighteningly gloomy. There was an uninvited guest. Jiang Chen's strength might not be much, but there was a 7th-level star-level expert behind him. Furthermore, that black-armored man made them feel uneasy. Look at who I am. Ha! Jiang Chen turned into Gasolier with a shake of his body. Yan Fei, Lu Junfei, and the others' expressions changed drastically. Gasolier was killed by you? Yan Fei's heart was in turmoil. He did not expect such a great danger to be hiding around him, and he did not know about it. I didn't kill him. I just made him wish he was dead. As for you, all of you from the feather race, you deserve to die. Jiang Chen's voice was extremely gloomy. His hatred towards the feather race made Yan Fei suspicious. This guy seems to hate the feather race to the core. No wonder you disappeared without a trace. Kid, I will definitely kill you. Lu Junfei roared angrily, staring straight at Jiang Chen. Yunhe, who is this? Li Peng asked in shock. If not for you, I would not have been able to return to the Sky Tyrant Starfield so quickly. It is all thanks to you that we were able to make a comeback and come back to snatch the treasure. Mu Yunhe said in agreement. First, he would set a trap for Jiang Chen. Then, when he let his guard down, he would kill the Feather Race members first, and then the rest. Heroes indeed come from the young. Sun Bin nodded. Brother Mu, I am responsible for this battle. Kill all the Feather Race members, and then we can split the treasure. Ha ha. Jiang Chen laughed. Good, good, good. I like you very much. Fight, fight, fight. Kill them all and leave nothing behind. Mu Yunhe laughed. Jiang Chen and the rest also joined the battle. However, Mu Yunhe did not expect that Jiang Chen's first attack would be aimed at him. That was exactly what he wanted. Piercing his chest. Mu Yunhe's expression changed, and he screamed in despair. Chapter 50-52. The battle between the two sides had reached a stalemate. Although Mu Yunhe and the others were gradually gaining the upper hand, if they wanted to kill the Feather Race now, they would suffer heavy losses. Perhaps some of them would die here as well. But the battle was still going on. Whether they wanted to admit it or not, this battle was going to be difficult for them. More and more Star Realm experts were dying. They were all at the initial Star Realm. They couldn't dodge Mu Yunhe's group's attacks, but Mu Yunhe, Sun Bin, and the others were having a harder time. Their injuries were getting worse. The Feather people were using numbers to overwhelm them. If they could hold on until the end, it was hard to say who would emerge victorious. Damn, these guys are fighting with their lives on the line. Do they not want to live anymore? Sun Bin was extremely depressed, but these guys were already prepared to die. The Feather people were advancing wave after wave, and their injuries were getting worse. They might end up like his wife and son. They don't want to live, but we don't want to live either. Even if we die, we'll drag a few hundred down with us. A bunch of trash at the initial Star Realm wants to stop us? Impossible. Mu Yunhe had made a comeback. This time, he wouldn't retreat even half a step. It was all for this day. Yan Fei was defending his camp to the death, and old demon Li Shan wasn't someone to be trifled with. If they slacked off, these guys could take advantage of them. Fortunately, they had enough people this time. Even if they lost a few hundred people, they still had more than 2,000 people. The defeated soldiers faced off against the heavily injured Mu Yunhe and the others. Both sides were evenly matched, and both sides continued to whittle away at each other's strength. In the blink of an eye, the battle had gone on for 3 days and 3 nights. The sky was dark, and the Feather people had lost more than 1,000. Only 1,500 remained. Mu Yunhe and the others were panting from exhaustion. Their injuries were also increasing. When do we attack? Luo Ying glanced at Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen frowned. Stop dawdling. It looks like they're both testing each other's bottom line. If no one attacks in the end, then they're using the battle to fuel the battle. If this went on, it wouldn't even be considered a tug of war. They were all afraid of losing, because they couldn't afford to lose. If the Harpies lose, they will have been preparing to hand it over to someone else for many years. If Mu Yunhe and the others lose, they will completely fall, suffering a double loss. From the looks of it, they both want to wear down each other's patience and see the other's bottom line. Luo Ying said in agreement. Of course. Jiang Chen knew that he had to take action. He was not in the mood to continue wasting time with this group of people. He wanted to sit on the mountain and watch the tigers fight. Their strength was almost exhausted. Now that he had taken action, it was time to clean up the battlefield. Isn't it early? Luo Ying laughed. It's getting late. They're all wearing each other down. It's a good time for us to give them a head-on blow. That's because both their strength and spirit are about to be exhausted. If we really wait until both sides are injured, they aren't stupid. As long as the other side doesn't make a killing move, they'll just fight a tug of war. No one is willing to make the first move. Whoever makes the first move will reveal their trump card. Jiang Chen pondered and said. Hence, it was time for them to attack head-on. Black King. Here. Black King appeared beside Jiang Chen in an instant. He couldn't wait any longer. He had been watching this battle in the dark. The battle had been going on for 3 days and 3 nights. Now, it was time for them to take action. Later, you and Luo Ying will face Old Monster Li Shan's group. I will fight the entire harpies alone. Jiang Chen laughed. Are you sure? Luo Ying said with a faint smile. A starving camel is still bigger than a horse. You have to be careful. There are more than 1,500 star-level experts and dozens of 6th-level star-level experts. Even if they are all exhausted, they can't be underestimated. You mustn't let your guard down. Jiang Chen naturally understood Luo Ying's worries. However, he also wanted to see how strong his strongest combat power was. After obtaining the inheritance of the Emperor Cosmos, today's battle would be his strongest opponent. This battle would also be a good opportunity for him to test what kind of experts he could go against and how many people he could defeat in this battle. Jiang Chen's goal was naturally to kill all the harpies. Jiang Chen's goal was to make this sinister, cunning and vicious race disappear from the entire eternal world. This was his ambition. Master definitely won't lose, the Black King said unwaveringly. Look, even the Black King knows better than you that I won't lose. Jiang Chen patted his chest and said confidently, it's just a bunch of defeated soldiers. Even if I win, there's probably nothing to brag about. Jiang Chen shook his head. At this time, he leapt down from the mountain. Ha ha ha, Brother Mu, how have you been? I didn't expect to meet you again so soon. Jiang Chen laughed heartily. It's you? Little friend. Hurry up and lend me a hand. After we kill these harpies, we can catch up. Mu Yunhe laughed heartily. All right, then I'll help you. Don't be afraid, Brother Mu. Jiang Chen shouted. Who are you? Yan Fei's expression was frighteningly gloomy. There was an uninvited guest. While Jiang Chen's strength wasn't much, there was still a 7th-level star-level expert behind him. Furthermore, that black-armored man made them feel uneasy. Look at who I am. Ha ha ha. Jiang Chen turned into Gasolier with a shake of his body. Yan Fei, Lu Junfei, and the others' expressions changed drastically. Gasolier was killed by you? Yan Fei was shocked. He didn't expect such a great danger to be hiding around him, and he didn't even know about it. I didn't kill him. I just made him wish he was dead. As for you, all the harpies, you deserve to die. Jiang Chen's voice was extremely gloomy. His hatred towards the harpies made Yan Fei suspicious. This guy seems to hate the harpies to the core. No wonder you disappeared without a trace. Kid, I will definitely kill you. Lu Junfei roared angrily, staring straight at Jiang Chen. Yunhe, who is this? Li Peng asked in shock. If not for you, I wouldn't have been able to return to Sky Tyrant Starfield so quickly. It's all thanks to you that we were able to make a comeback and come back to snatch the treasure. Mu Yunhe said in agreement. First, he would set a trap for Jiang Chen. Then, when he let his guard down, he would kill the harpies first, and then the rest. Heroes indeed come from the young. Sun Bin nodded. Brother Mu, I am responsible for this battle. Kill all the harpies, and then we can split the treasure. Ha! Jiang Chen laughed. Good, good, good. I like you. Fight, fight, fight. Kill them all and leave nothing behind. Mu Yunhe laughed. Jiang Chen and the others also joined the battle. However, Mu Yunhe had never expected that Jiang Chen's first attack would be aimed at him. It was exactly what he wanted, piercing his chest. Mu Yunhe's expression changed, and he screamed in despair. Chapter 50-53. Mu Yunhe was dumbfounded. Even Sun Bin, Li Peng, and the others did not expect that Jiang Chen, who had been calling Mu Yunhe brother just a moment ago, would change sides at the last moment. Jiang Chen's unexpected attack directly pierced through his chest. Luckily, Mu Yunhe was already on guard and was extremely cautious. Otherwise, this attack might have taken his life. Bastard! Sun Bin roared. He did not expect Jiang Chen to have schemed against Mu Yunhe. This seemingly honest 5th-level Star Warrior was actually so fierce and ruthless, heavily injuring Mu Yunhe at the crucial moment. This, Yan Fei, Lu Junfei, and the others were also stunned. Wasn't this guy too terrifying? Whose side was he on? He sent Mu Yunhe's group away, and now he was at odds with Mu Yunhe. This guy was stirring up trouble everywhere. I didn't expect you to be from the feather race. Mu Yunhe gritted his teeth and staggered backward. His eyes filled with anger and unwillingness. You're wrong. I'm not from the feather race. I also hate the feather race. Now, I'm going to enforce justice on behalf of the heavens. I won't let the feather race off, But you guys, ha ha ha, I won't let you off either. Old monster Li Shan isn't a good person either. You guys have killed countless people, and I've asked around. You deserve to die. Jiang Chen stood with his arms crossed, speaking frankly with assurance. Arrogant and conceited guy, with just you? You want to destroy the feather race? You're dreaming. Those who offend the feather race will be killed no matter how far they are. Yan Fei said in a deep voice. Jiang Chen's strength was only at the 5th heavenly layer of the star realm, so he did not put him in his eyes. Is that so? Today I, Jiang Chen, will see who can stop me. Jiang Chen smiled and pulled out his sword. It had been a long time since he had fought. This time he would not retreat. He would use the blood of the feather people to fuel his passion. At this time, Mu Yunhe and the others were already defeated. Luo Ying and the Black King were more than enough to deal with them. Jiang Chen would face the feather race alone and decide victory or defeat in one battle. You're overestimating yourself. Ha 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 ha, you still want to deal with us together? Don't forget the saying that a skinny camel is still bigger than a horse. Who do you think you are? Yan Fei sneered. From his point of view, Jiang Chen was simply spouting nonsense. Wanting to exterminate the Yu race with just 3 people? Wasn't this a joke? Words are useless. Let's see who's more powerful. For Milan Star for justice, I will destroy you on behalf of the heaven-awakened starfield. Jiang Chen said. Courting death. Yan Fei snorted coldly. Mu Yunhe and the others were strong. Although they were heavily injured, they were still star level 7 experts. But what was a star level 5 guy doing here? Attack! Kill him! Yan Fei roared. Kill Jiang Chen to establish their prestige. For the feather race, the situation was not clear. There were pursuers in front and fierce tigers behind. Jiang Chen's appearance had clearly been planned for a long time. Gasolier had already died at his hands. Moreover, this guy seemed to want to kill old monster Li Shan and the feather race. Wasn't his appetite a bit too big? Kill this group of bastards for me. I must kill him. Mu Yunhe roared. Now, he finally knew why Jiang Chen was being so kind. It was because he wanted him to fight against the Yu family. When the sandpiper and the clam fight, the fisherman would benefit from it. This bastard had finally decided to act against them. Before Mu Yunhe could make a move, Jiang Chen was one step ahead. The first to strike gained the upper hand, and the last to strike suffered a calamity. But as long as Mu Yunhe had a sliver of hope, he would not give up. His vengeance had not been avenged, and the treasures were still in the hands of the harpies. In this 3-way battle, only the courageous would emerge victorious. Whoever retreated first would suffer the most. On the other side, Jiang Chen's eyes flashed like lightning as he charged into the enemy's ranks. The feather race army had thousands of star-level experts. At this time, it was as if they were on steroids. Even if they could not defeat these star-level 7 experts, could they not defeat a piece of trash like him? In the eyes of the feather race, Jiang Chen was not worth mentioning. Now, he had become an existence for them to vent their anger. Come at me! Jiang Chen shouted. He held the heavenly dragon sword in his hand and pierced through the sky. His battle-intent sword, sweeping away everything in his path. Luo Ying and the Black King glanced at each other before charging towards Mu Yunhe, Sun Bin, and the others. In an instant, the battle began again. At this time, the happiest person was none other than Yan Fei. Mu Yunhe and the others would definitely not let this matter rest. The 2 people beside Jiang Chen were not easy to deal with either. Jiang Chen dared to charge into the enemy ranks of thousands of star-level experts. He really did not care about his life. Only the Black King and Luo Ying were clear about Jiang Chen's strength. These people definitely could not kill him. Even if he retreated in defeat, he would be able to protect himself. No one could kill him. Jiang Chen was almost undefeatable. That was why Luo Ying and the Black King could fight so fearlessly. Jiang Chen used the limitless sword, weaving through the feather race experts like the autumn wind sweeping away fallen leaves. With one slash, at least 10 to 20 people fell into a pool of blood. With one slash, the terrifying sword intent swallowed the heavens and earth. It was like a goddess scattering flowers. 10,000 swords slashed out at the same time, a whirlwind slash, a proud sword that soared through the clouds. No one could stop it. The sword slashed through the sky and descended. The limitless sword had no limits. Hundreds of star-level experts were annihilated within 10 moves. They died without a grave. Jiang Chen's silhouette was too powerful, too fast. No one could stop him. Not even a fifth heavenly layer star realm expert could last one round against him. Jiang Chen was like a mad bull as he charged into the enemy ranks. His barbaric charge destroyed millions of people. He was unstoppable. Those who block me shall die. Jiang Chen's aura was shocking. Thousands of star-level experts could not stop Jiang Chen at all. 1/4 of the star-level experts had already fallen. Jiang Chen was like a beast that did not know fatigue. This kind of battle was completely exchanging blows. Even Yan Fei could not say that he could completely ignore anyone's attack. Even he could not stop Jiang Chen's footsteps. The feather race surrounded Jiang Chen. The battle became more and more intense. Both sides were evenly matched. However, Jiang Chen knew that there were so many feather race people. It was impossible for him to kill them all in a short period of time. The first wave of attacks killed more than 400 people. Now, the feather race was trembling in fear. However, they had the advantage in numbers. With one spurt of energy, they would be exhausted. Jiang Chen could no longer be as successful as he was at the beginning. Chapter 50-54. Jiang Chen was not a fighting machine. After killing hundreds of stellar-level experts, he would also be tired. Moreover, Yan Fei and the rest were not sitting ducks. They could not allow him to slaughter the feather race clansmen and remain indifferent. Damn it! I must kill him. Definitely! Yan Fei roared in anger. His heart was filled with anger. More than 3,000 stellar-level experts had entered Milan's star. Now, after this battle, their numbers had been reduced to just over 1,000. To the feather race, this was a huge blow. The cultivation of any stellar-level expert was not achieved overnight. Without absolute talent and perseverance, it was impossible to become a stellar-level expert. However, these stellar-level experts of the feather race had been slaughtered like vegetables in front of Jiang Chen. It pained Yan Fei to see this. These were the elites of the feather race. They were the true reason for their survival. They were the foundation of the Sky Tyrant Starfield. Thousands of stellar-level experts had died here. Even if Yan Fei returned to the Sky Tyrant Starfield in the future, he would definitely be held accountable. The current Jiang Chen was like a butcher. It was too scary. However, Yan Fei had to face it head-on. No matter how many casualties there were, he had to kill Jiang Chen here. Now that he was surrounded by enemies, he could only sit back and relax after finishing them off. Yan Fei had never expected that this treasure hunting trip, which he thought was flawless, would end up causing him to suffer heavy losses. So many of his brothers had died. The core strength of the feather race had been greatly weakened. It was a pity that there were no stellar level 7 or 8 experts on his side. Yan Fei was clear that he was the highest leader of this treasure hunting trip. He had the right to make all the decisions. However, if more powerful experts of the feather race came, he would have to stand aside. When that happened, the credit would not be his anymore. However, it was all because he thought too highly of himself. It was not just old monster Li Shan. Even Jiang Chen, who had appeared out of nowhere, had come to compete with him. At this time, the only thing Yan Fei could do was to fight with his life on the line. Only the final victor could become the true owner of these treasures. Jiang Chen had always been waiting for an opportunity. The mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. He even made use of the east wind to make old demon of Mount Li his enemy, causing both sides to suffer. Yan Fei hated Jiang Chen to the core. And now, as if he had the help of God, he charged into the winged race's camp. No one could stop him. Is this guy a lunatic? Holy shit. Isn't this a little too strong? That's right. I didn't expect this bastard to be so terrifying. Even with so many of us, we can't stop him. It's hard to say. Right now, we might not even be able to figure out his background. Bullshit. There are so many of us. Do you think we're afraid of him alone? Fuck. Look at Commander Yan's few Star State level 6 warriors. Even they can't do anything to him. The people of the Feather Clan were all panicking. Yan Fei and the others took the lead and finally began a new round of attacks. This time, I'm going to tear you apart with my own hands. Yan Fei roared and charged at the very front. With a long halberd in hand, he swept through the crowd. Roar, roar, roar. Following Yan Fei's charge, the people of the winged race behind him also became spirited. Even their boss was charging without a care for his life, let alone them. This was their chance to show off. They must give this kid a fatal blow and show him who the true overlord was. Dragon soaring technique. Jiang Chen's eyes were like a knife. With his sword in hand, he continuously activated the Genesis Qi in his body. Raging flames rose and rose, and his strength directly rose to the star state level 6. With the support of dragon transformation, Jiang Chen did not fall into a disadvantageous position even after fighting over 20 star state level 6 warriors. Sword 28. Sword 29. Sword 30. The exquisite limitless sword moved wildly. Under the crowd's attacks, he charged left and right without the slightest pause. Jiang Chen's battle power was shocking. Although there were millions of people, he still charged forward. However, Jiang Chen was ultimately fighting alone. The source qi in his body was constantly being compressed and eventually suppressed by the combined forces of the winged race experts. The initial sharpness gradually faded, and many injuries appeared on Jiang Chen's body. After all, there were too many people, and they were all star state experts. In a desperate fight, Jiang Chen could only face them head-on. Blades and swords intertwined, blood and fire collided. Jiang Chen fought with all his might, constantly breaking through his limits in battle. In the face of so many powerful enemies, he was still the fearless Jiang Chen. This was Jiang Chen's imposing manner. He was never afraid of anyone. The Tao in his heart was his own unique Tao. Millions and millions of people were nothing in front of him. He felt no pressure at all. Jiang Chen was not afraid of anyone. The Tao in his heart was a unique Tao. Millions and millions of people were nothing but chickens and dogs in front of him. Even if his body was torn to shreds, he must defeat them. The trash of the winged race, he wanted to crush them with his own hands. He wanted the winged race to remember that he was their nightmare forever. Jiang Chen wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. Facing the surrounding winged race experts, Yan Fei, Lu Junfei, and the others were in hot pursuit. This made Jiang Chen more and more passive. However, with his unyielding battle power, Jiang Chen's heart was emotionless. The real battle had just begun. Today, he would kill all the thousands of winged race experts and complete the real thousand slaughter. Jiang Chen advanced with each step, retreating as he fought. However, his power did not diminish at all. Facing the encirclement from all directions, his battle power became more and more astonishing. The stronger the opponent, Jiang Chen's strength continued to rise, and the limitless sword also became more powerful. Countless sword shadows descended from the sky, and the sky was filled with sword rain. It was unstoppable. 31 Sword. Jiang Chen's eyes were as red as blood, and a cold light flashed. His sword swept across the tens of millions of people. Yan Fei and the others' expressions changed drastically. They had to use all their strength to block the sword. But even so, they were still badly injured. Looking at the people around Jiang Chen, those who were not strong enough were instantly killed. There were more than 200 of them. What a terrifying sword. Lu Junfei's face was ashen. They were both star level 5, but he was like a speck of dust, while Jiang Chen was like the bright moon. Compared to him, he was like a fighter jet among trash. Many of the Yu clansmen were trembling in fear. Jiang Chen had once again become a demon in their eyes after killing more than 200 people with a single stroke of his sword. Yan Fei gritted his teeth. He must not let Jiang Chen make a comeback. As long as they worked together, they would definitely be able to suppress Jiang Chen with their numbers. All of you charge. Kill this bastard, and I will be seriously injured. Today, my brothers, you are all heroes of the rise of the winged race. With a great reward, there would definitely be brave men. Moreover, the current Jiang Chen might not be invincible under the heavens. His face was pale and he was gasping for breath. He was also a human being. Chapter 50-55. In the face of these countless feather race experts, Jiang Chen's aura was getting weaker and weaker. Even if his body was full of Genesis Qi, the battle power consumption was still unimaginable. If it was someone else, they would have died in a single wave of attacks. Not even their bones would be left. Single sun finger. Double dragon finger. Triple finger. 9 tribulations imprisoning heavenly finger. Terrifying finger techniques pierced through heaven and earth. Countless people were pierced and died on the spot. But there were too many feather race experts. Jiang Chen retreated as he fought. He was still ambushed from all sides. It was too difficult to break through this iron bucket of feather race experts. Of course, if Jiang Chen wanted to leave, no one could stop him. But he did not want to leave. Only by killing these hateful feather race experts could he get his hands on the treasures. Only then could he return Milan Star a piece of pure land. 9 tribulations imprisoning heavenly finger. 4 directional finger. Jiang Chen's 4 fingers struck out simultaneously. Hundreds of feather race experts were crushed by Jiang Chen's finger seals. The power of the 4 directional finger was monstrous and unstoppable. Yan Fei's expression suddenly changed and he quickly retreated. But those who faced Jiang Chen head-on could not escape their fate. The 4 directional finger was earth-shattering in all directions. The power of wind, fire, thunder and lightning gathered in all directions. Even Yan Fei and a group of 6th Heaven Star level experts had to avoid it. They did not dare to be the slightest bit careless. In the blink of an eye, hundreds of winged race experts had fallen into a trap. The feather race experts were terrified. But they had no room to retreat. The only choice they had now was to fight to the death. If they won, they would have a chance to live. If they lost, they would have no chance at all. All the treasures would be taken away by them. Jiang Chen became braver as he fought. Although his injuries were getting more and more serious, he was still able to move in and out of thousands of feather race experts with ease. His heavenly dragon sword was stained with blood. Jiang Chen was fighting to his heart's content in this battle. No one knew how terrifying this battle was, and no one knew how much Jiang Chen had sacrificed. The Black King and Luo Ying glanced in Jiang Chen's direction from time to time, afraid that Jiang Chen would not be able to hold on. After all, there were thousands of star-level experts. Even a 7th Heaven Star-level expert would not be able to hold on. Luo Ying was ashamed of her inferiority. If it had been her in this battle, she would have long been exhausted. With so many stellar-level experts, even if she were to slaughter chickens and cows, she did not know how long it would take. At this moment, there were only 800 Yu family experts left. Jiang Chen's body was stained with blood, but his sword qi was still sweeping across the void. The surrounding void was dyed red with blood mist. The eyes of the Yu family experts were red with killing, so was Jiang Chen. Jiang Wood of the Jiang of Jiang Wood race. Jiang Chen's. Jiang. Jiang Chen qi was. Chen's. Jiang. No one can stop me, not even the heavens. Jiang Chen's roar was like thunder. He clashed with the Yu experts again. Blood mixed with the cold, frost-like sword shadows. Jiang Chen could no longer tell if it was his blood or the blood of his enemies. This battle filled him with fighting spirit, filled him with a domineering aura. He disregarded everything and feared nothing. The 9 tribulations imprisoning heavenly finger combined with the 31st sword was invincible. Jiang Chen had exhausted most of his Genesis qi. His essence, qi and spirit had reached the peak. This battle was as domineering as one could imagine. Yan Fei and the others were deathly pale. Jiang Chen was like a bloodthirsty dragon. With the battle weapon in his hand, no one could match him. Even if they used numbers to exhaust Jiang Chen, the outcome would be the same. He was too strong. They could not stop him. 10 5th Heaven Star level experts could not even last one round against him. Although both sides were seriously injured, it was hard to imagine how terrifying Jiang Chen's battle would be. There were as many experts as the clouds. The Yu experts felt fear and even despair towards Jiang Chen from the bottom of their hearts. 800 people continued to decrease. 700. 600. 500. 400. The experts of the Yu family were dying more and more. The battle lasted for a day and a night. Jiang Chen held the heavenly dragon sword tightly and remained unmoved. He wanted to kill all of them to avenge those who died in Milan Star. Millions of people were killed on Milan Star. Every one of these Yu experts deserved to die. We can't beat them. What should we do, Commander Yen? Yes, if this goes on, we will all be wiped out. Commander Yen, let's run. I don't want to die, I don't want to die. The fear the Yu experts felt towards Jiang Chen was indescribable. This person was a world-shocking devil, an out-and-out homicidal maniac. The feather race had never been afraid of anyone. Plus, they had never lost a battle of killing and robbing. Plus, most of the places in Eternal World were filled with experts of the feather race. They were arrogant and didn't put anyone in their eyes. But this time, they had lost to Jiang Chen. They didn't even dare to look at Jiang Chen. They were completely terrified of Jiang Chen, the great devil who wasn't afraid of death. How could they not be afraid as they watched their old friends fall one after another? Everyone would die one day, but some people could live for thousands of years. Some people could live for tens of thousands of years, and some people could live even longer in the long river of history. Strength was the absolute truth. In this world where strength was respected, unless you kept hiding, even if you didn't provoke anyone, you could still be killed. If you wanted to live longer, you had to become stronger. Constantly become stronger. The Yu clan thought that they were strong, and with so many stellar-level experts working together, they still could not defeat Jiang Chen's sword. Damn it! Yan Fei gritted his teeth, but his hands were also trembling. Was the plan he had plotted for so many years going to fail? And he was going to die here. He could not accept it, could not accept it. This Jiang Chen was also scheming and scheming. He used old demon Lishan to destroy their strength. Otherwise, how could he fight so many experts of the Yu clan alone? A group of defeated soldiers, countless dead and injured. In the end, he single-handedly defeated everyone. The Yu clan could not withstand him. But in Yan Fei's heart, a raging fire burned. Jiang Chen's strength was already at its limit. As long as they could hold on, it was hard to say who would emerge victorious. Kill. Protect the Yu clan with your life. Yan Fei gripped his halberd and made his final charge. There were less than 300 people left. They had to use their last breath to defeat Jiang Chen. Only then would they have a chance of survival. Chapter 50-56. Facing the Feather Race's final charge, Jiang Chen kept increasing his power. Under the dragon transformation, his body was like a giant demon. Jiang Chen ignored everyone and swung the heavenly dragon sword like the autumn wind sweeping away fallen leaves. The heavenly dragon sword in one hand and the divine judgment brush in the other. Jiang Chen gripped the divine judgment brush tightly as he drew out more and more cages. The Yu experts had nowhere to hide as he swung his sword. Jiang Chen laughed wildly to his heart's content. The Feather Race had long since been scared out of their wits. He was also full of confidence. Whether it was the limitless sword or the 9 tribulations imprisoning heavenly finger, they both made them feel suffocating despair. Jiang Chen's battle prowess was like a pillar supporting the heavens, constantly rising. On the other side, the Black King and Luo Ying had teamed up against Mu Yunhe and the others. They had also reaped great rewards. The Black King and Luo Ying were fighting 1 against 3. However, the 2 of them were much stronger than the 6 of them. The 6 of them were already struggling at death's door. They were defeated soldiers, so the Black King and Luo Ying didn't hold anything back against them. Only by going all out could they defeat them. Otherwise, these 7th-level star-level experts would not give them a chance to catch their breath. You bastards, Jiang Chen. I won't let you off even if I die. Damn it, brothers, let's go all out and kill them. Mu Yunhe shouted himself hoarse as he glared at Jiang Chen and the others. His heart was filled with anger. However, the other party's strength wasn't something they could handle. The 3 stinky-nosed cobblers were completely suppressed by Luo Ying and the Black King. Every step they took, they staggered, and their lives could be in danger at any time. Their injuries were also getting worse. However, under the all-out attack of old monster Li Shan and the others, the Black King and Luo Ying did not dare to go easy on them. If they fought with all their might, they could fight back with all their might. If that happened, it would not be worth it. As long as they gradually crushed them to death, they would have nowhere to run. Just as the 5 of them were going all out, Mu Yunhe turned tail and ran, once again using the blood shield technique. Fuck! Mu Yunhe, you bastard! Why did you run away? This bastard! Damn it, he actually ran away when he saw that the situation wasn't good. Bastard! Without Mu Yunhe, we have 1 less pillar of support. Our hopes have dwindled again. Screw your ancestors, Mu Yunhe. If I can survive, I'll definitely kill all 18 generations of your ancestors. No matter how much they cursed, it was too late. Mu Yunhe could no longer hear them. Because Mu Yunhe had long since fled far away. Even the Black King and Luo Ying were stunned. Just a second ago, they had agreed to fight with all their strength. In the next second, he was the first to run away. This caused Sun Bin and the others to grit their teeth and tremble in anger. But now, even if they wanted to run, they could not. The Black King and Luo Ying had their eyes on them. Plus, they were in a state of panic. These 5 already had thoughts of running, but they were already defeated. Even if they wanted to run, It was impossible. Kill! The Black King shouted in a low voice and took the lead to attack. This time, he did not hold back. Luo Ying was very clear that now that they were in chaos and had lost their backbone, it was the best time to kill them. Sun Bin and the others were forced to retreat. However, once they thought of retreating, their combat power was much weaker than before. At this time, the Black King could kill them without any hesitation. The 5-star level 7 firmament experts had been sent flying by the Black King one by one. Coupled with Luo Ying's encirclement, these people were completely finished. The Black King used his spear to send everyone flying. While fighting, he sweated and bled. He completely defeated Old Fei of Mount Lishan. Each of them was on their last breaths and did not have the strength to fight anymore. At this time, Jiang Chen was like a wolf in a flock of sheep. He made a final charge. Although the feather people were full of fighting spirit, unfortunately, their opponent was Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen gritted his teeth and fought to the end. He wanted to send these feather people to hell. The final struggle of Yan Fei and the others also became extremely miserable. The number of Yu Clan's people continued to decrease. From 3,000, there were only 30 or so 6th Heavenly Layer Star Realm experts left. They were still struggling to hold on. Jiang Chen stood with his sword, panting heavily. However, there was only fear and despair in the eyes of Yan Fei and the others. They could not run, and they could not beat him. Why were they so unlucky to meet such a jinx? Now, all that's left is trash. I'll get rid of you too. Jiang Chen smiled coldly. He walked forward step by step. Every step he took was like stepping on the chests of Yan Fei and the others, making their hearts tremble. Sun Bin and the others had already been killed by Luo Ying and the Black King. At this time, they looked at Jiang Chen. No one made a move, because they knew that if Jiang Chen said he wanted to fight the feather people alone, he would definitely not allow them to interfere. Dang! This is the fate of the feather people. In your next life, don't be a member of the feather people. Jiang Chen raised his sword. 10,000 swords flew into the sky and slashed down violently. Yan Fei and the others had already closed their eyes because they did not have the strength to escape. This time, they could only choose to accept their fate. Yan Fei's heart was filled with bitterness. The treasure that he had schemed so hard to obtain was actually going to be a gift to someone else. Bang! With a loud sound, Jiang Chen flew backward. His face was extremely gloomy. Above Yan Fei and the others, a grayish-brown light appeared and completely enveloped them. This is... Yan Fei's pupils constricted and his eyes widened. It's Mount Shan! Someone exclaimed. They saw a thin figure in a yellow robe appear in front of them. Yan Fei and the others instantly became excited. Mount Shan, one of the 8 great mountain men of the feather people, and also Yan Fei's master. Master! Yan Fei could not contain his excitement. At this time, the appearance of Mount Shan was their last hope. As long as Mount Shan was here, they would be fine. Mount Shan is here to save us. We're saved, we're saved. Mount Shan is mighty and domineering. He's invincible. Many of the feather people cheered at this time. Mount Shan had brought them hope and the joy of victory. They had gone through a series of battles and their strength was completely insufficient to hold on. However, Mount Shan was different. He was the mainstay of the feather people, one of the pillars of their planet. Mount Shan was a powerhouse of the 8th heaven of the star level. To them, he was an existence that they could only look up to. The cultivation of the star level was more difficult with each level, especially when one reached a higher level. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. A powerhouse of the 8th heaven of the star level was a top powerhouse. Although there was only a difference of 2 levels to Yan Fei and the others, it was like heaven and earth. Jiang Chen's expression also turned ugly at this time. Chapter 50-57. A bunch of trash. You can't even understand such a simple thing. You've really disappointed me. Qiu Yuji said in a deep voice. As one of the 8 great hermit, he was the mainstay of the perpetual winged star boundary. This time, it could be said that they had worked hard for many years before they finally cracked the hidden treasure on the Miran star. However, someone had still leaked the information, leading to a battle of life and death. This should not have happened. On a small planet like the Milan star, no one would find out even if they massacred everyone. However, at this time so many people had appeared. The feather race had to be more careful. Xueqi had specially escorted his disciple for the sake of the feather race. He had not expected that this trip would not be in vain. Yan Fei had been ambushed in the end. At the crucial moment, he had no choice but to act. As an 8th firmament star-grade elite, he could sweep through a low-grade astral domain like the Heaven-Awakened Star Domain. There might not even be an 8th firmament star-grade elite in the entire Heaven-Awakened Star Domain. Of course, he could not rule out the possibility of a big shot hiding in the depths of some astral domain. However, this possibility was very low. Everyone wanted to climb higher. As long as one had the heart of an elite, no one would want to stay in a corner. Many star-grade elites had left the Heaven-Awakened Star Domain in search of a wider sky. Needless to say, an 8th firmament star-grade elite would definitely stand at the pinnacle of the Heaven-Awakened Star Domain. Xueqi's appearance made Jiang Chen's facial expression darken. The feather race was truly powerful. More and more experts were emerging. It wouldn't be easy to kill them all and make them disappear from the eternal world. Edited by Lifer, Fingerfox. The feather race's elite suppressed the world. Xueqi had shrouded the entire Tiger Subdue Mountain in a layer of black fog. The Black King and Luo Ying were on high alert. They were no match for such an elite. However, at this crucial moment, neither of them would back down. Master, your disciple is useless. Please act and kill this bastard. Yan Fei said excitedly. As long as he didn't die, there was still hope. No one could succeed forever. This time, they were about to give up hope. However, the appearance of their master gave them great confidence. Qiu Shanren was one of the 8 great mountain men of the Yong-Yi star boundary. He was one of the top figures in the entire Sky Tyrant star field. The strength of the feather race in the Sky Tyrant star domain was not bad. There were many experts of the feather race stationed in the star domain. However, this time they were very ambitious. If they succeeded, they would be able to obtain all the treasures on the Milan star domain. Then they would spread the news to the entire Sky Tyrant star domain and even expand their territory. They might not even put the Ether star domain in their eyes. For the sake of the Harpies and for the sake of his disciple, Qiu Shan would not let his guard down. His trip to the Milan star this time had played a decisive role in this matter. Otherwise, they would really be taken advantage of. Looks like we are in trouble this time, Luo Ying said with a bitter smile. She thought that they were the Oriole, but they were still intercepted by the experts of the feather race. These people were really scheming. There were so many experts of the feather race, but they were still worried. They even had people secretly watching them. The strength of the experts of the feather race was suffocating. At least, the Black King and Luo Ying did not dare to fight against them. Bastard, why aren't you kneeling down and accepting your death? Otherwise, when my master takes action, your soul will scatter and you will die without a burial place. Yan Fei shouted at Jiang Chen. Is that so? I would like to see how strong the experts of the feather race are. I don't want to be a dog of the feather race. This time, I will definitely get the treasures. Even if the Heavenly Emperor comes, he won't be able to stop me, let alone you bastards of the feather race. Old man, if you know what's good for you, I will also advise you to take your people and get lost. Otherwise, don't blame me for fighting you to the death. Jiang Chen said with a cold smile. Bastard, don't be so arrogant. Yan Fei did not expect Jiang Chen to be so stubborn. He thought that Jiang Chen would be scared when an 8th firmament star expert appeared. But now, it seemed that this bastard still wanted to fight with his master? All right, then I will give you a good fortune. I will send your soul to the Western Heaven, never to be reincarnated. Xueqi's face was gloomy. So many of the feather race had died, and all of them were done by Jiang Chen. His strength was indeed terrifying, but it was only limited to Yan Fei and the others. Facing Xueqi, who was 3 heavenly layers apart, there was no chance for him to turn the situation around. The ones that Xueqi should be concerned about were Luo Ying and the Black King. These two were quite strong. Could it be that they were the main force? No need to look, we have no helpers, only me. Old man, do you dare to fight with me? Jiang Chen wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and said with a deafening voice. He was not afraid of Xueqi at all. He wanted to see if he could keep Xueqi here. Even if he could not win, if Jiang Chen wanted to run, he would not be able to stop him. Little brat, do you really think that you are the devil incarnate? You killed so many experts of my feather race. Today, you won't be able to escape. Xueqi walked forward step by step. Each of his steps seemed to be able to move the myriad of things in the world. His aura was majestic. Blazing flames blazed behind him. Such a tyrannical aura truly caused people to feel an immense sense of pressure. After all, he was too strong. The difference between a 7th firmament star expert and an 8th firmament star expert was like the difference between heaven and earth. An expert of this level should not appear here. But for the sake of the feather race, Xueqi had to take action. Then I will fight with you, 8th firmament star expert. I, Jiang Chen, do not believe that you can turn the tide. Jiang Chen raised his sword and walked toward Xueqi step by step. The two of them stared at each other. Jiang Chen was showing off his ability, and Xueqi was as steady as Mount Tai. When the two of them clashed, it would definitely be like a planet exploding. Jiang Chen dragged his heavy body, gritted his teeth, and ate a bunch of medicinal pills. He wanted to fight to the death with Xueqi. For the sake of treasures, for the sake of the woman behind him, and for the sake of the peace of the heaven-awakened star region, Jiang Chen could not avoid. He could only charge forward. How could he not know how terrifying an 8th firmament star expert was? However, Jiang Chen still did not turn around. If he did, he would have already lost, and he would never have the chance to stand up again. Experts were always fearless. They could only advance, not retreat. At this moment, the clouds were surging, and lightning was flashing in the sky. It was like the prelude to a storm. Xueqi did not put a weakling like Jiang Chen in his eyes. Chapter 50-58. Humph. Isn't going against Mount Shan seeking his own death? This guy is definitely going to die. That's right. We can't compete with Qiu Shanren. This brat is arrogant, but he's just an ant in Qiu Shanren's hands. It'll be a piece of cake for them to kill him. Commander Yen, this is a great opportunity for us. It's all because of you. Otherwise, Mount Shan would not have followed us. Mount Shan really has deep feelings for Commander Yen. It's hard to repay his master's kindness. Commander Yen, we congratulate you in advance. You found a rare treasure from the ancient world. The revival of the feather race is all in your hands. Yen Fei enjoyed the flattery of the people behind him. Although the feather race had lost so many experts and it would take a lot of manpower and resources to nurture these people, it was nothing compared to this treasure. Regardless of the Dawn stones, the treasures in the Origin ancient site were all priceless. Most importantly, he wanted to strengthen the feather race's hegemony. The deaths of a few people were merely building a foundation for their hegemony. The death of the weak was not to be regretted. Only the strong could survive. This was a world where the strong preyed on the weak. Even among the Yu race, there was no hesitation. It was survival of the fittest. Those who died would be buried with them. The treasures in the Origin ancient ruins were the most tempting. Brother Jiang, be careful. Luo Ying's expression was solemn. Even if Jiang Chen was at his peak, he would most likely die if he went up against Mount Shan. The difference between the three heavens was huge. Only Jiang Chen would dare to fight such a battle. In the eyes of the feather race, Jiang Chen was already trapped. No one could save him. At that moment, Luo Ying and the Black King stood on either side of Jiang Chen, ready to fight at any time. The Black King's heart was also filled with worry. Now there was no way out for them. Kill, Jiang Chen shouted in a low voice, and the three of them turned into 3 meteors, rushing to the peak of the sky. For silhouettes intersected with one another, dispersing the dark clouds in the sky. The sky changed color, and the earth-shattering power caused the entire Tiger-Subdue mountain range to be frightened. All the birds and beasts within 1,000 miles fled in all directions. In the blink of an eye, Xueqi had gained the upper hand. He did not feel any pressure at all. With a wave of his hand, the world changed color. The Black King and Luo Ying were both forced back several hundred steps, blood spurting from their mouths. Bang, bang, the Black King's face was deathly pale. His entire body was trembling uncontrollably. The webbing between his thumb and forefinger was torn, and he could no longer hold onto the Black Demon's spear. Xueqi's strength was too terrifying, and the Black King didn't have the strength to contend against him. Luo Ying also spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. The bones in her body felt like they were about to shatter. Only Jiang Chen was forced back a few hundred steps, but he still stood proudly. His body had long been tempered by the astral pole, so he was completely fearless. However, Jiang Chen was intimidated by the latter's powerful aura, and he could not remain as stable as Mount Tai. That palm just now had forced the three of them back. Other than Jiang Chen, Luo Ying and the Black King had all lost the ability to fight. The two of you step back. Leave the rest to me. Jiang Chen said. But you, Luo Ying's heart was filled with worry. The difference between a star level 7 and star level 8 was like the difference between clouds and mud. Only after exchanging blows did Luo Ying realize how great the difference was. Although Jiang Chen was strong, he was also severely injured. If he continued to fight with this Qiu Shan person, the result might be very ugly. Don't worry, I know what I'm doing. When I really can't beat him, I'll naturally withdraw. Jiang Chen smiled faintly. The moment he turned around, his expression became solemn again. 9 deaths and 1 life. The warrior was the hero. You've surprised me a little. After taking my palm, you can actually walk so leisurely and didn't die. The two of them are already crippled. Now that you're the last one, I'm really seeing you in a different light. Xueqi said with a smile. However, he was only a little surprised. According to his thoughts, he was a little surprised. According to his thinking, Jiang Chen would be directly shocked to death. Even if he didn't die, he would at least lose a layer of skin. However, it seemed that he was actually calmer than the 2 stronger experts. Don't worry, I won't let you down. Again. Jiang Chen held his sword and stood up. With a cold smile, he once again charged at Xueqi. You're overestimating yourself. Dang! Xueqi shouted coldly. His palm descended and smashed fiercely at Jiang Chen. All-seeing palm. A huge palm descended from the sky, pressing directly at Jiang Chen. It blotted out the sun and the sky. It was extremely terrifying. 31 sword. Jiang Chen's long sword slashed horizontally and vertically towards the palm. Jiang Chen was once again shaken back. Blood gushed out. The enormous power made him feel even more strained, but he still managed to take it. Still not dead. Xueqi's expression changed. Even if this kid was made of steel or stone, he couldn't be this terrifying. He could still stand up after taking 2 of his palms. Even an ordinary star level 7 expert couldn't take 2 of his palms. This guy was struggling at death's door. Instead, he was getting more and more confident. You want to kill me? You're not qualified. Jiang Chen's smile became colder. 4-directional finger. Jiang Chen flew up and the 9 tribulations imprisoning heavenly finger appeared again. 4-directional finger shot into the sky and headed straight for Xueqi. Suppress him. Xueqi slapped out with his palm. 4-directional finger actually pierced through Xueqi's palm. At that moment, it suddenly dissipated. This guy is too terrifying. He can actually fight Qiu Shanren back and forth? Yeah, I thought he wouldn't even be able to take 1 move from Qiu Shanren. Don't worry, Qiu Shanren hasn't used his full strength. He's just playing with this guy. If Qiu Shanren wants to kill him, it'll be a piece of cake. Just wait and see. The feather people nodded. Even though Jiang Chen could take a dozen moves from Qiu Shanren, it was impossible for him to escape. Qiu Shanren hadn't even made a move yet. You've already made me a little angry. Kid, I won't go easy on you this time. Dang. Xueqi was a little irritated. This bastard actually took a dozen moves from him. Wouldn't his reputation be weakened in the eyes of the feather people? He had to kill him as soon as possible to establish his reputation. A mere Star State level 5 guy wanted to defy the heavens? Dream on. Heavenly hand. Xueqi pressed down again. Jiang Chen was fearless. The power of the stars in his body kept surging. He swung his fist, shattering the heavens and earth. Exploding stars. Get lost. Jiang Chen's punch collided with Xueqi's heavenly palm once more. Jiang Chen was forced to take 3 steps back while Xueqi's face was filled with a solemn expression. Chapter 50-59. At this moment, Xueqi's expression was extremely ugly. He and Jiang Chen had fought so many times, and there was no clear winner. Although he had the upper hand, Jiang Chen was not in any danger at all. The strength that this guy displayed was getting stronger and stronger. Could it be that he had been holding back all this time? A star level 5 guy, even if he had been holding back, how much of a storm could he cause? But today, Xueqi no longer had the patience to tangle with him. He had to kill him as soon as possible to maintain the dignity of the feather race. Not only Xueqi, but even the feather race were feeling a little nervous. Why had Qiu Shan not been able to defeat Jiang Chen after so long? Could it be that Qiu Shan could not hold on any longer? No wonder. The strength that Jiang Chen displayed made them feel suffocated. How could a star level 5 guy be so terrifying? They could not figure it out no matter how hard they tried. Good, good, good. You've really opened my eyes today. Jiang Chen, if I don't kill you, how will the feather race keep its face? Qiu Yuji had already made up his mind to kill Jiang Chen. He did not have a good fight with him in the past few times. This time, he was going to use his trump card. As one of the 8 mountain men of the Eternal Wing Astral, he was badly beaten by an unknown kid. No matter what, he could not justify himself. He had to kill Jiang Chen as soon as possible so that the feather race could take away the treasure as soon as possible. He already felt that Milan's star was no longer safe. If he delayed any longer, there might be more changes. Although Qiu Yuji had a card up his sleeve, Yan Fei and the rest were already feeling a little scared. Commander Yan, has Qiu Shan been hiding his strength all this time? Yeah, why would he hide his strength against a star level 5 trash? Don't be fooled by his star level 5. Didn't we all lose? Are you saying that you're trash? Everyone spoke one after another, feeling uneasy in their hearts. All of you shut up. How could my master lose? You jinx. Be careful that I don't cut off your tongues when I get back. Yan Fei frowned. His master's strength was undeniable, but he did not know why he could not take down Jiang Chen. It seems like the experts of the feather race are all good at bragging. You want to kill me? I don't think so. Ha ha ha, don't hurt yourself. Jiang Chen sneered. If they couldn't win after a protracted battle, then attacking the opponent's mind was the best option. At this time, Qiu Yuji's heart was already a little flustered. If this continued, he was afraid that he would really lose. It was impossible to lose, but how could Qiu Yuji be willing to be teased by Jiang Chen like this? Little brat, how dare you speak of bravery? Your time of death has come. Qiu Yuji gripped his saber with both hands, and a terrifyingly huge saber descended from the sky. Saber light flashed, and it was a dark gold color. It was extremely domineering, and there were even faint sounds of tigers and dragons roaring. To be able to die under my big blunt saber, you will die a worthy death. Qiu Yuji held the big blunt saber in his hand, raised it, and descended from the sky. Endless power broke through the shackles of heaven and earth, bringing with it an aura that could destroy heaven and earth. All right, then I will play with you. Jiang Chen's eyes were piercingly cold. He rose with his sword and met the attack with his sword. The world was spinning. The entire mountain seemed to be sinking. Jiang Chen held the heavenly dragon sword tightly and roared. The power of the heavenly dragon sword was not inferior to Qiu Yuji's big blunt saber. Moreover, the power of the heavenly dragon sword was unparalleled. Once the sword spirit appeared, who could compete with it? The sword spirit of the heavenly dragon sword had always been a very terrifying existence. Jiang Chen almost never let the sword spirit out of its sheath. This time, the heavenly dragon sword seemed to have encountered a great crisis, and began to erupt crazily. Jiang Chen's sword repelled Qiu Yuji's big blunt blade. Qiu Yuji's eyes shone with a cold light. Jiang Chen's heavenly dragon sword was roaring like a dragon. The sword spirit's mightiness had completely suppressed his big blunt blade. Otherwise, Qiu Yuji's blade would have cut Jiang Chen in half. Jiang Chen used the sky-ascending stairway and began to circle around Qiu Yuji. He dashed left and right, and his eyes were very calm. Jiang Chen's speed had always been Qiu Yuji's sore point. After fighting with this guy for a long time, he was able to remain undefeated. The main reason was that Jiang Chen's speed was too fast, and this time, Jiang Chen had played him in circles. Qiu Yuji's heart was incomparably angry. The speed of the 4 sky-ascending stairway far exceeded Qiu Yuji's speed. Jiang Chen began to frantically arrange the formation. If he wanted to fight against Qiu Yuji, he had to activate the Azura sword formation. Otherwise, he would not be able to withstand the opponent's continuous attacks. One slash after another, Jiang Chen could not keep running, so he might as well just run away. He was not seeking to live, but to win. Jiang Chen's steps were steady, and he retreated in order to advance. Facing Qiu Yuji's slash after slash, Jiang Chen could only avoid the sharp edge, and began to slowly look for an opportunity. Finally, Jiang Chen's Azura sword formation was completed. However, He was suppressed by Xueqi to the point where he couldn't even budge. Now that the sword formation was completed, Jiang Chen had to give it his all. This was his only chance. Jiang Chen was incomparably depressed. He didn't know when he would be able to cast the magical beans for soldiers. If that happened, he would be able to complete the Azura sword formation with a wave of his hand. The most important thing was that the 36 divine weapons were too powerful, and Jiang Chen had to use his heart to control them. Also, the positions of the formation were different. Ordinary formations might be able to cast the magical beans for soldiers, but for such a complicated Azura sword formation, Jiang Chen didn't dare to try it. Because he knew that even if he tried, it would be useless. Only when his innate astral emperor was strong to a certain extent would Jiang Chen be able to give it a try. At that time, he would be able to split his attention and do all 36 tasks at the same time. Only then would he be able to complete the Azura sword formation. However, that was only an idea. Right now, the most important thing was to kill this old man. Only by killing Xueqi could he obtain the treasures. The people of the Feather Clan should all die. Jiang Chen wouldn't show any mercy. Azura sword formation. Activate. Jiang Chen held the heavenly dragon sword in his hand and controlled the formation I. At this moment, all 36 7th-grade battle weapons were in position. Together with the heavenly dragon sword, they stirred up the wind and clouds. As the sword formation was activated, the sky turned dark. The surrounding mountains and rivers seemed to have become stagnant. Within the sword formation, Jiang Chen was like a god. His might dominated the world as he pointed at Xueqi from afar. Insignificant skill. You want to trap me with a mere formation? In your dreams. Xueqi sneered. However, he didn't expect that terrifying sword chi would descend from the sky one after another. Even he was a bit overwhelmed. This Jiang Chen is really too hateful. So many divine weapons. All of them are like my blunt knife. How can he control them? Chapter 50-60. Xueqi originally thought that no matter how powerful Jiang Chen was, he would not be able to defeat Xueqi. However, Xueqi knew that he was wrong. Jiang Chen's formation was too ruthless. Moreover, it was filled with terrifying sword chi. Streaks of sword shadows pierced through the sky as if they would never change. Jiang Chen gave it his all. The terror of the Ashura sword formation was fully displayed at this moment. Xueqi wasn't the only one who was shocked. Everyone's face was filled with shock. Jiang Chen's terrifying formation had struck fear into the hearts of the Yu clan. How could this be? How could this guy have such a move? Impossible. He can't possibly be a match for Qiu Shanren. It's too early to say that. This guy has exceeded all of our expectations. If he can hold on, it won't be easy for Qiu Shanren to defeat him. I believe in Qiu Shanren. This guy must be struggling on his deathbed. Don't underestimate anyone. Otherwise, we'll lose terribly. The Feather Clan fell silent. Yan Fei was no exception. He naturally believed in his master's strength, but the power that Jiang Chen displayed was not to be underestimated. If they were in his shoes, none of them would be able to survive such a powerful formation. Jiang Chen squinted his eyes. His gaze was like a sword. He waved the heavenly dragon sword and countless sword shadows pressed towards Xueqi. The formation was completed. Million swords returned to origin. Xueqi roared as if he was facing a formidable enemy. He held the blunt saber in his hand and attacked crazily. He continuously cut down the countless sword shadows that came from the Ashura sword formation. If this sword formation was controlled by someone who was as powerful as him, Xueqi knew that he would not be able to survive. Even so, Jiang Chen's strength was still unbelievable to him. Jiang Chen was clearly on the brink of death, an arrow at the end of its flight, but he was still able to teach him a lesson. This was the most terrifying thing about Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen felt neither joy nor sorrow in his heart. His goal was clear, to kill Xueqi and obtain the Yu race's treasure. That was his ultimate goal. The Ashura sword formation's pressure on Xueqi was endless. Xueqi took each step carefully, but the injuries on his body only increased. It was difficult for him to continue. If this continued, he would die in less than 15 minutes. Xueqi took a deep breath. If he really died here, it would be too humiliating. Moreover, he was killed by an unknown star level 5. Even if he died, he wouldn't accept it. You want to kill me? Dream on. I will definitely make you pay the price. Xueqi's roar shook the heavens. His saber swept across the sky, but in the Ashura sword formation, Xueqi found it hard to defend against the endless sword shadows. However, Jiang Chen knew better than anyone else that although the Ashura sword formation was ferocious, it was impossible for him to hold on for too long. He had to end the battle quickly. Seems like the master is really angry this time. This Xueqi, I think he will lose for sure. The Black King was very confident in Jiang Chen. At this time, the Ashura sword formation's power was on full display. Even a star-level 8 expert would not be able to withstand its sharpness. This was Jiang Chen's dominance. 29 swords. 30 swords. 31 swords. Endless sword intents flew in the sky. Xueqi's heart trembled. He kept retreating, but the rain of swords would not give him any chance. Those who block me shall die. Jiang Chen unsheathed his sword and looked around, his aura soaring to the heavens. Even though he was only a star level 5, Jiang Chen's potential made him fearless. He wanted to compete with the heavens. Now, it's time to kill you. Jiang Chen's heart was not distracted. He controlled the formation, but he was very clear that he had to kill Xueqi as soon as possible. After all, the opponent was too strong. He had to use all his means to have a chance of killing him. Star-picking palm. Jiang Chen moved his palm. The power of the stars changed unpredictably. A huge palm pierced through the clouds, shrouding Xueqi's head with a destructive starry aura. No, this is impossible. Xueqi's face was filled with panic. Although he was in a passive state, it was not easy for Jiang Chen to kill him. However, when the destructive palm came crashing down from the clouds, Xueqi knew that his time of death had come. Star-picking palm. Grasping the sun and moon and plucking the stars. Jiang Chen finally felt the terror of the star-picking palm. However, the person who felt it the most was Xueqi, because he had nowhere to hide. Don't kill me, don't. Xueqi's face was filled with terror. Even Yan Fei and the others were stunned on the spot. Xueqi slowly knelt down. The terrifying palm penetrated his body. Immediately after, tens of thousands of sword shadows pierced through his body. Xueqi's eyes were filled with shock and disbelief. Even at the moment of his death, he did not believe that Jiang Chen had such a powerful move. He actually surpassed the third celestial layer and killed him. It was like a fantasy story. However, Jiang Chen did it. All the Yu clan members were stunned on the spot. At this time, their only hope was wiped out by Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen let out a long sigh of relief. He staggered a step and almost fell to the ground. He leaned on his sword with one hand and panted heavily. The sword shadows in the void gradually dissipated. Xueqi's body was thrown down from the sky and finally landed on the ground, stirring up a cloud of dust. Xueqi was dead. An 8th celestial layer of the star level had actually fallen. Yan Fei couldn't believe it at all. At this moment, he kept shaking his head. Xueqi was dead, and they had lost their last pillar of support. After so many years, after going through so many hardships and obstacles, Yan Fei had finally reached Milan's star. However, in the end, his hard work had gone to someone else. Thousands of his brothers from the Feather Clan had fallen. This was unacceptable to him. However, the facts spoke louder than words. Now, Yan Fei could only wait for death. If Jiang Chen wanted to kill them, it would be as simple as crushing an ant. Black King, kill them all. Don't leave a single one alive. Jiang Chen said in a low voice. Bastard! The Yu clan will not let you go. Jiang Chen, you are a devil. Yan Fei bellowed and roared. His entire person seemed to have gone mad. After all, this was the result of his many years of hard work. Now, it was all gone in an instant. No one would be able to control it. In his eyes, death was no longer that scary. What was scary was that his own hard work was not even worth mentioning. In the end, the treasure was still taken by his enemy. Jiang Chen's eyes were calm. Yan Fei and the others' deaths were not to be regretted. When they first came to Milan Star, they had slaughtered more than 10 million people. This was the best punishment for them. When Jiang Chen looked at the Origin ruins, he could not help but feel a little excited. The treasures in the Origin ruins should now have a new owner. Chapter 50-61. What are these things? Luoying looked at the things on the ground. They were all treasures dug out from the Origin Ancient Site. They were starting to crack. Could it be that the things in the Origin Ancient Site are ominous? The Black King also looked at Jiang Chen with a solemn expression. Release all the slaves immediately, Jiang Chen said in a deep voice. The three of them quickly moved and rescued the hundreds of thousands of Milan natives, removing the shackles on their bodies. Thank you, deity, for saving us. Thank you, deity. We will never forget the immortal's kindness. Thank you, deity. Countless people knelt on the ground, kowtowing to Jiang Chen. However, at this time he couldn't care less. There seemed to be some changes in the Origin Ancient Site. You don't have to thank me. You guys leave first. I'm afraid there might be some changes in the Origin Ancient Site. For safety's sake, leave this place as soon as possible, Jiang Chen said in a deep voice. At this moment, everyone started to flee in all directions. Jiang Chen's words were like an imperial edict to them. This young and promising hero had saved their lives and restored the vitality of Milan's star. Fortunately, the Yu race didn't occupy their homeland. Otherwise, Milan's star would have turned into a purgatory. Those slaves were all riddled with scars. Luo Ying's heart was filled with fear, hatred and pity. Fortunately, Jiang Chen was there to turn the tide. Only then did Milan's star regain its freedom. The people here also regained their freedom. However, at this time, the treasures dug out from the Origin Ancient Site were all cracking. Jiang Chen also had a bad feeling. Could it be that these things were alive? Master, this is not good. I think we should hide further away and observe the situation, the Black King said in a low voice. Then wouldn't we have wasted our lives? Jiang Chen sighed. His face was filled with reluctance. It was better to be safe than sorry. However, he couldn't just return empty-handed, right? He had spent so much effort to kill these people, and now he was told to run? This was not Jiang Chen's style. We didn't play for nothing. We saved millions of people. Our merits are immeasurable. Luo Ying smiled. Bullshit. Can it be eaten? Although I am charitable, if I don't get anything this time, I won't be able to sleep even in my dreams. Jiang Chen rolled his eyes. Anyway, I still feel that something is wrong. Luo Ying also stopped smiling. This warhammer looks pretty good. I'll take it first. Jiang Chen grabbed the black warhammer with a look of joy on his face. The warhammer was as big as a person's head and had a short handle. It was engraved with patterns similar to orchids, and it was completely black and extremely heavy. Jiang Chen could tell that this black warhammer wasn't ordinary at first glance. It was unknown how many years had passed, but the surface of this black warhammer was already covered in honeycomb-like corrosion. Time had left its mark on its body. But it couldn't be denied that this was definitely a divine or weapon. It was even better than his heavenly dragon sword. Unfortunately, it was now a broken weapon, but its power was most likely not inferior to the heavenly dragon sword. Jiang Chen didn't say much and put away the warhammer first. But at this moment, what Jiang Chen had been worried about finally happened. The largest Origin Ancient Site was torn to pieces, and the withered figure gradually shrugged his shoulders and slowly lifted up. Motherf ****. Damn it, he's really going to play me to death. This thing is alive? Jiang Chen sucked in a breath of cold air. The shriveled figure was becoming more and more corporeal under the nourishment of Genesis Qi. Who would have thought that after so many years, the top expert who once stood at the peak of the eternal world would come back to life? Luo Ying was also stunned. She was so shocked that she couldn't speak. How many years had it been? They had no way to verify it. Perhaps only the person in the Origin Ancient Ruins knew exactly how long she had been asleep and how terrifying she was. Not good. That guy is looking at us. Master, run. The Black King said in a low voice and subconsciously retreated. Sure enough, the figure slowly stood up. Although his body was still a little rusty and not very agile, the armor and divine weapon next to him once again appeared on his body. He was clad in armor, holding a sword in his left hand, a blade in his right, and 3 axes on his back. He looked mighty and domineering. His body had already recovered to more than 10 feet, and he was twice as tall as an ordinary person. His body was majestic and imposing, like a war giant waving a divine weapon. The mighty and domineering face looked at Jiang Chen and the others with endless vicissitudes and confusion. It was you who woke me up. The hoarse voice was full of majesty and murderous intent. I could have slept for thousands of years, and by then, my strength would have recovered to more than 50%. Unfortunately, I only have 30% now. Damn it! The war giant frowned as he roared. His roar caused the sky to change color and the clouds to gather. At that moment, Jiang Chen finally understood what it meant to be a powerhouse. There was no need to say anything unnecessary in front of him. This guy's strength was actually so strong that his roar could cause the sky to change color and all living things to tremble in fear. The oppressive aura that he gave off seemed to be innate. The aura of a superior existence was above the heavens. The Black King and Luo Ying could no longer hold on. They were even forced to kneel on one knee by this aura. Jiang Chen stood tall between the sky and the earth. The pressure on his body also made him feel a little pain. However, his Tao was also above the heavens. The Tao of Heaven Ascension did not fear the heavens. The oppression that the war giant gave him was only in terms of strength. This person was even stronger than Choshan Ren. Jiang Chen was incomparably shocked. It was very likely that this person had already surpassed the star grade. A few ants. How dare you covet my divine weapon? Dang! The war giant shouted coldly. His eyes were cold and emotionless. He slashed down with his blade. Jiang Chen stood with his sword and faced the sky. However, this slash directly cut a hole in Jiang Chen's heavenly dragon sword. Jiang Chen's figure flew backward, his face full of shock. Looking at the hole in the heavenly dragon sword, Jiang Chen's eyes were even more blazing. He knew that he had really met a powerful person today. This was only 30% of his strength. Jiang Chen could not even withstand one move. Even the heavenly dragon sword was almost cut in half. Now there was only one thought in Jiang Chen's mind, and that was to escape. Chapter 50-62. I didn't expect you to be able to withstand my attack. Not bad at all. The war giant held the saber in his hand and once again soared into the sky and slashed down. Jiang Chen's steps were steady and he quickly dodged. But no matter what, he couldn't escape the attack of the saber. Clang! There seemed to be another crack on Jiang Chen's heavenly dragon sword, and this time, it was bigger than before. Jiang Chen's face was pale and blood was spurting out. He couldn't hold on any longer. His whole body seemed to be paralyzed. Not to mention that his current strength was not as good as before. Even if he was at his peak, Jiang Chen knew that he definitely wouldn't be able to withstand 3 moves from the war giant. Why are you still not leaving? What are you waiting for? Jiang Chen roared. At this time, he also displayed the sky ascending stairs and quickly rushed forward. Sky ascending stairs? The war giant's face changed and immediately a hint of ecstasy appeared on his face. Jiang Chen's heart shuddered. Oh no, this guy seemed to recognize the sky ascending stairs and seemed to have some understanding of it. Didn't he suffer a double loss? Where are you going? Even if you have the sky ascending stairs, you can't escape from my palm. The war giant roared and stepped on a green cloud, chasing after Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen's heart trembled. It seemed that he had really underestimated this guy. After all, this was a peerless expert from hundreds of millions of years ago. Even if he was a tiger that had fallen to the plains, he still couldn't fight against him. But he wasn't someone to be trifled with. If he couldn't win, he could still run. However, Jiang Chen realized that he couldn't run away from this war giant. The speed of the war giant was not any slower than him using the sky ascending stairs. In fact, it was even faster. Damn it, wasn't this the worst of his 8 lifetimes? Jiang Chen was a little regretful. Why didn't he run earlier? Now that he was targeted by this bastard, his situation was even more difficult. Jiang Chen was very depressed. He couldn't beat them, and he couldn't run away either. The lives of the 3 of them were already hanging by a thread. Even the speed of climbing the sky stairway was not a match for this war giant. Jiang Chen could only choose to fight with his life on the line. This was his last resort. It depended on whether the divine thought technique could confuse this war giant. If it could not confuse him, then he would only have a dead end. Divine will technique, one thought to heaven. Jiang Chen had already made up his mind to die. In an instant, he released all of his source astral souls, filling the entire Milan star. At that moment, the war giant really stopped, completely trapped by Jiang Chen's divine sense art. Beautiful! Jiang Chen's face was filled with excitement. Just as he had expected, this war giant had just awakened, and his soul force was far from recovering. His divine will art was able to use his strengths to attack his opponent's weaknesses. Master, let me destroy it. The Black King attacked with all his might, wanting to kill the war giant, but Jiang Chen grabbed him. Bullshit. If we don't leave now, we will all die here. You still want to kill him? Dream on. Jiang Chen roared. He brought Luo Ying and the Black King to the Azure Wave's divine boat and began to head towards the depths of the universe. After a few breaths, the war giant finally opened his eyes, but at this time, Jiang Chen had already disappeared. Bastard! No matter what, I will definitely find you, my sky-raising warhammer. The war giant clenched his sword, slashing horizontally and vertically, crossing the mountain range. In his rage, he was filled with indignation. He was a dignified supreme, but he actually let a stellar-level kid escape. This was too aggrieved. The war giant calmed his mind, and his face was solemn. He looked up, and it seemed that no one in the world could trap him. It has been 2 eras, and I am finally back. In the eternal world, only I am eternal. The war giant roared and soared up, leaving Milan's star and flying towards the depths of the universe. At the same time, in the depths of the universe, in a desolate land, a white-haired young man raised his head and looked up at the starry sky. The endless cosmos was boundless, but a resplendent star was reborn from the filthy earth, once again suspended high above the heavens. I didn't expect that person to come back. Jiang Chen sighed. His face was incomparably grim. They finally escaped. At this time, it was a complete miracle that they could survive. No one knew who that person was. Jiang Chen didn't know, Luo Ying didn't know, even the Black King, who had followed his former master to many places in the eternal world, had no clue. That war giant should really be the ultimate expert who sealed himself in the Origin ancient ruins countless years ago. It really wasn't easy for us to escape from him. The Black King was also constantly panting. His heart was filled with fear. No matter what, we finally escaped. It was a narrow escape. I don't want to meet this guy again. Jiang Chen rolled his eyes and said, if you had listened to me earlier and left Milan's star, perhaps this tragedy wouldn't have happened. Luo Ying curled her lips and said, she also had a lingering fear. Anyway, I can't return empty-handed. Ha! Jiang Chen laughed and said, the feeling of surviving a disaster was still very comfortable. Holding the warhammer in his hand, Jiang Chen finally did not play in vain. The principle of entering a treasure mountain and returning empty-handed would definitely not be broken. You really don't give up. Luo Ying couldn't help but smile. Even in a desperate place, Jiang Chen did not forget to take away his treasures. That's natural. But it's a pity that my heavenly dragon sword was cut by that war giant, leaving 2 cracks. Jiang Chen said gloomily. However, an idea flashed in his mind. He could melt this warhammer and reforge the heavenly dragon sword. I'm really a little genius. Jiang Chen felt much better. Otherwise, his heart would be filled with sorrow if the heavenly dragon sword was completely broken. The heavenly dragon sword was not just a sword anymore. It was his family. Ever since he was in the Saint Origin world, it had gone through countless battles with him. The heavenly dragon sword already had a sword spirit. This sword was his family. Watch how I melt your divine weapon and forge a new peerless sword for me, Jiang Chen said in a deep voice. At this moment, they had already been on the Kanglan divine boat for more than half a month. However, they were not in a hurry to go to Li Mountain this time. Hence, they only reached the border of Heaven Tyrant Starfield and Heaven Awakened Starfield after half a month. Let's go to Heaven Tyrant Starfield to look for Feng Er. We can't stop. I've already searched the entire Heaven Awakened Starfield. There's no trace of Feng Er. This time, let's go to Heaven Tyrant Starfield and have a good look. Chapter 5063. Jiang Chen and the others drove the Zhonglan God boat all the way to the Sky Tyrant star region. There were countless stars in the surroundings, all of them filled with resplendent starlight. There were mysterious and unfathomable existences everywhere, filling one with curiosity. This was Jiang Chen's first time traveling in the universe. He didn't know what mysteries existed on the other side of the boundless universe. The eternal world was so big that Jiang Chen couldn't see the borders. At least, the Sky Tyrant star region wasn't a place he could casually travel. The Sky Tyrant star region was far more terrifying than the Heaven Awakening star region. Countless stars filled the universe, and small stars floated between heaven and earth. There were countless stars, but some were extremely cold, some were scorching hot, and some weren't suitable for humans to live in. A complete star realm that was suitable for humans to live in was very hard to find. Even in the entire Sky Tyrant star region, there were only about 100 stars that were suitable for humans to live in. However, the Sky Tyrant star region had tens of thousands of stars. Some of the bright stars emitted eerie blue light, some were filled with purple light, and some were colorful. They were all the colors of the galaxy. Jiang Chen and Luo Ying didn't know how long they had been traveling. It had been more than 2 years. Finally, they saw a region with humans. Star-level experts were able to travel through the universe, but their speed was suppressed by the gravitational force of the universe. Only Jiang Chen's Azure Billow Divine Boat, which could travel through time and space, could ignore any boundaries and travel at will. Along the way, Jiang Chen gradually saw many people. They were all above the star state. In order to become a qualified space wanderer, the star state was the most basic requirement. Without enough power, they wouldn't be able to survive in the universe. They would be crushed by the gravitational force of the eternal world. Hence, even space wanderers had to be very careful. There seems to be a very powerful space turbulence up ahead. We've encountered the 7th wave of space wanderers. Luo Ying said. The Zhonglan godship floated past. Those cosmic wanderers were full of envy, but if they wanted to get a divine artifact like this, it would depend on luck. Even cosmic cloud states rarely had one. This must be a cosmic cloud state or even stronger. That's right. When will we be able to own such a divine artifact? Let's save it. How many years would it take for us to reach the cosmic cloud state? We would be dead before we even reach the cosmic cloud state. That's right. The days of living on the edge of a knife aren't easy. The interstellar wanderer is an existence that everyone hates. We should be careful. Many of the interstellar wanderers sighed when they saw Jiang Chen's Azure Waves divine ship fly past them. However, this was a world where the strong preyed on the weak. Even star-grade powerhouses like them had no choice. Let's keep the deep-sea divine boat and see what's going on ahead. Jiang Chen pondered for a moment and said. The space-time turbulence in front of them was getting stronger and stronger, and the number of people was increasing as well. He did not know if all of them were interstellar wanderers. All right. Luo Ying nodded. The two of them found a secluded spot and kept the Azure Waves divine boat before continuing to fly forward. At this moment, Jiang Chen just realized how slow he was. He was like a snail. He couldn't even compare to 1/10,000th of the Azure Waves divine boat's speed. At this speed, it would take us a few thousand years to cross the Sky Tyrant universe. Luo Ying smiled bitterly. It's not as comfortable as the Azure Waves divine boat, but we're not here to enjoy it. Let's see what's going on ahead. Jiang Chen smiled. The two of them flew forward, but their speed was still very awkward. Brother, why are there so many people around? And there's such a terrifying space turbulence. Can't we get through? Jiang Chen asked when he saw a young man standing on a small planet, watching from afar. You guys came from far away, right? Don't you know? The youth was taken aback. That's right. We have come from afar and are preparing to head to the core of the Sky Tyrant star field, the Sky Tyrant star boundary. I can see that within a radius of 10,000 miles, the space turbulence is huge and there are many people here. Jiang Chen replied. That's right. This is the entrance to the nether world. It's also one of the 8 danger zones of the Sky Tyrant universe. Usually, within a radius of 100,000 miles, it's filled with space turbulence. Even cosmic cloud states would be killed if they enter by mistake. That's why it's called the entrance to the nether world. But every 900 years, there will be a rare phenomenon where the turbulence shrinks. At that time, the turbulence of 100,000 miles will shrink to a radius of 1 kilometer, and a large number of treasures will appear here. Some are incomplete, some are secondhand, but there are also some rare heavenly treasures that are spewed out from the center of the space-time turbulence vortex. Isn't it very magical? Hee, but no one can enter the last kilometer, not even the gods. It's said that there was once a cosmic cloud state who didn't believe it and insisted on entering. In the end he was killed. From then on, no one dared to enter it rashly. Lin Xiaogui sneered. You two are quite strong and should be able to go further than me. Later, when the space turbulence shrinks to within a kilometer, you can go fight for it. Everyone is waiting for this moment. Whoever gets it will get it. After all, it's ownerless. Although the treasures here aren't extremely rare, some are still remarkable. No one knows how the space turbulence appeared. Perhaps it's connected to the end of a world. That's why it's called the entrance to the nether world. You two need to be careful. Lin Xiaoguo's power was at the 4th level of the star state. Jiang Chen and Luo Ying were stronger than him. Thank you for telling me, brother. Jiang Chen smiled. He didn't expect this place to be a land of death. It seemed that if he wanted to pass through here, he would have to go around this place. It's fine, it's nothing. But I advise you not to go to the Heaven Tyrant Star Realm. Do you know how far we are from here? Without 10,000 years, you won't be able to reach the Heaven Tyrant Star Realm. Most of us here have never been to the Heaven Tyrant Star Realm. It might be the core of the Heaven Tyrant Star Realm, but there are countless powerful beings there. It's better to live in a remote corner. Ha ha! Lin Xiaoguo smiled. His face was calm and full of yearning for life. He didn't have the kind of shackles to pursue eternity. Jiang Chen was a little envious. A person like this lived a happier life than him. If there wasn't a heavy burden on his shoulders, who would bet their life on tomorrow? Chapter 50-64. That's true. However, I have to go to the core area of the Sky Tyrant Starfield, the Sky Tyrant Star Boundary. Hence, I will have to take a detour. Jiang Chen sighed. It won't be long before the space-time turbulence dissipates. You guys should get ready. Good luck. Lin Xiaoguo smiled. You too. Jiang Chen smiled faintly and moved forward rapidly. Because the space-time turbulence was getting smaller, some of the people in the surroundings also moved closer to the core area. No one wanted to miss this opportunity that only appeared once every 900 years. To many people, this was a chance to change themselves and be reborn. Whoever was weaker would be able to obtain treasures and stand out from the crowd. In the future, they would be able to obtain more resources in the Sky Tyrant Starfield. Many interstellar wanderers and people from the surrounding astral realms rushed over at the same time. There were thousands of star-level experts, and they were even stronger than the feather experts. These people were all very cautious. Most of them were 3rd or 4th heavens of the star level, and there were also some 6th or 7th heavens of the star level. However, there were very few of them, and many of them were hiding in the dark, watching silently. Looks like we have to see what treasures there are here first. If we just leave like this, we will suffer a great loss. Jiang Chen smiled. You never suffer a loss. Wherever you go, you will get something. Ha! Luo Ying said with a smile. Along the way, the relationship between the two of them became deeper and deeper. Although they couldn't return to Heavenly Awakening Starfield, Jiang Chen had promised her that he would bring her back to Heavenly Awakening Starfield as soon as he found Feng Air. The central area of the space-time turbulence was filled with storms. Countless meteorites were swept up. Some of them were even crushed. It was extremely violent. Jiang Chen and Luo Ying carefully walked into the center of the storm. The terrifying wind was deafening, as though it was about to tear their eardrums. Look, the space-time turbulence is finally going to disappear. Ha ha ha, the opportunity is here. Is everyone ready? This time, don't even think about snatching a single treasure from my hands. Heh heh heh, you have to be able to pick up some good treasures first. That's right. Don't end up with nothing in the end. That would be a huge loss. Shut your crow's mouth. More and more people rushed to the front. At the center of the vortex, a terrifying light figure spread out in the sky. The sky changed color, and the dust disappeared. It was like the world was being reborn, returning to peace. Charge! Someone shouted, and everyone rushed to the front. Layers of things fell from the void. There were broken weapons, sand and stones, plants, flowers and fruits, and even rare beasts. However, not a single one of them was alive. Jiang Chen and Luo Ying looked at each other. Then they also joined the army to snatch the treasures. However, the treasures here couldn't catch Jiang Chen's attention. He flew straight to the core area. Maybe he could find some treasures he wanted there. Jiang Chen and Luo Ying passed through the crowds of people. The surrounding lights and shadows were getting dimmer and dimmer, but some good treasures could be seen, but Jiang Chen still didn't have any desire for them. If it wasn't a rare treasure, he certainly wouldn't take action, or it could be said that he was too lazy to take action. What kind of wood is that? It's so strange. Jiang Chen's eyes lit up. He saw a purple gold wood floating in the sky in the depths of the core area. It attracted his attention. I want this wood. Jiang Chen smiled and turned into an arrow that left the bow. With the help of the sky-ascending stairway, Jiang Chen's speed soared, far surpassing the ordinary stellar-level experts. Many people were amazed. Jiang Chen stretched out his hand and grabbed the 1-meter-long purple gold wood. Instantly, a calm and peaceful aura was transmitted to Jiang Chen. More importantly, Jiang Chen felt as though his body was infected by it. He became incomparably calm. That penetrating feeling lingered in his heart, as though his soul was undergoing a baptism. It was too comfortable, too refreshing. If he continued to immerse himself in this feeling, it wouldn't be long before his source astral soul would rapidly improve. If the golden osmanthus tree was able to allow him to enter a tranquil and peaceful state to cultivate his innate astral soul, then this violet gold wood was able to give him the most direct feeling. It could even cause his soul to undergo a transformation. However, in the blink of an eye, Jiang Chen saw that a few centimeters away from the purple gold wood had already turned dark and lusterless. It was like a withered tree, losing its original luster. However, the most direct feeling that Jiang Chen had was that his source astral soul had indeed improved a little at this moment. Could it be that in that instant earlier, I really absorbed a strand of soul energy from the purple gold wood? Jiang Chen drew in a breath of cold air. This purple gold wood was simply too awesome. He had never encountered such a treasure before. Compared to Cinnamomum cassia, it was more like an object similar to source stones that could be swallowed. Good stuff. Jiang Chen hurriedly kept the purple gold wood. However, at this moment, 2 silhouettes appeared in front of him. One in front and one behind, surrounding him. Little brat, hand over the heavenly immersion wood in your hands and we'll be even. If not, we'll have to see who's stronger. An old man with a ross beard said with a chuckle. He stared at Jiang Chen with a cold expression. What do you want? Jiang Chen laughed. So this treasure was called the heavenly immersion wood. What do I want? At that moment, it's no longer up to you. The other skinny old man faintly said. In that case, doesn't it mean that you want to snatch the treasure in my hands? Jiang Chen shrugged his shoulders. All right, at least you know what's good for you. Hand it over. You're just a 5-level Star Realm fellow. How much ability can you have? Why do you want to find trouble for yourself? The 2 of them had already reached the 6th level of the Star Realm. Naturally, they didn't place Jiang Chen in their eyes. However, at this moment, if they could avoid making a move, it was best not to. After all, they might encounter even better treasures in the future. At that time, preserving their strength would be their last choice. What if I don't hand it over? You guys are planning to make a move. Jiang Chen laughed. These 2 wanted to pick a pushover, but they didn't expect that they chose the wrong person. Chapter 50-65. At this moment, the twin fiends of the Northern Sea had lost their patience. As the famous interstellar wanderers of this generation, the 2 of them had killed at least 800 people, if not 1,000. At this time, a Star Level 5 guy actually didn't care about them at all. How could this be? I'm afraid you still don't know how powerful the double fiends of the North Sea are. I'll give you one more chance. Hand over the item and kowtow to us 3 times. Then we'll let this matter go. Otherwise, you won't even be able to imagine the consequences. Mo Shibei smiled sinisterly. His face was full of beard and looked extremely horrifying. Double fiends of the North Sea? I don't care who you are. You want to snatch my item? I think you 2 are the ones who don't want to live anymore. Jiang Chen sneered. They wanted to defeat the enemy without a fight, and they even wanted him to give the treasure to them. What kind of dream would that be? He might not even be able to dream of it. I'm giving him face, but he doesn't want it. Big brother, looks like we have to teach him a lesson. Mo Shihai's eyes were dark as he locked onto Jiang Chen. You 2, who do you want to teach a lesson to? At this time, Luoying also appeared beside him. Jiang Chen's figure instantly became taller in the eyes of the double fiends of the North Sea. Damn it, why did this kid have such a powerful woman by his side? When the double fiends of the North Sea saw Luoying, they were terrified. They didn't expect this woman to be so strong. She was a level 7 star level. The 2 of them probably weren't even fit to carry her shoes. How could they beat her? Heh, we were just joking with our brother. It's a misunderstanding. A complete misunderstanding. Mo Shihai said with a smile. The fierce expression on his face just now had become very amiable. He was like the old man next door who was about to die, without any lethality. Yes, yes, yes. We were just joking. Senior, please don't take it to heart. Mo Shibe also nodded repeatedly. Hurry up and scram. Luo Ying's pretty face was covered in frost. Lung Lung said. At this time, the insufferably arrogant double fiends of the North Sea had no resistance at all. They turned around and ran away faster than rabbits, afraid that this female senior would change her mind. Look at how you scared them. I was going to exchange a few blows with them. Now it's all over. Jiang Chen said with a smile. You have to be careful. I just saw quite a few Star State Level 7 warriors. Although your power isn't bad, if a few of them join hands against us, it'll still be very dangerous. So it's best to stay low profile. Luo Ying muttered. When did you become so calm? Jiang Chen was stunned. In the past, Luo Ying didn't reject anyone. But now, she had become very stable and didn't want to take any risks. After all, we've only just arrived here, so we should be careful. Do you think the entire world is filled with idiots like the Harpies? If we offend any of the major factions, we'll be in great danger. Luo Ying said cautiously. It could be seen that she was very meticulous. Many things had to be considered more than Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen never cared about any enemy. If he wanted to fight, he would fight. Even if he couldn't beat them, he wouldn't admit defeat. However, at this time, Luo Ying's approach was obviously right. After all, the space-time turbulence had stopped. There were many experts here, and they didn't know which big shots were hiding in the dark. If they offended them, the gains wouldn't make up for the losses. A gentleman's wealth would cause him to get into trouble. It wasn't impossible to be attacked by a group of people and then snatch the treasures in their hands. You're right, you're right. Isn't that enough? Jiang Chen smiled. Having a woman by his side was really different. No matter what Jiang Chen did, he would think twice before doing it. This was something he had never done before. After all, he wasn't a native of the eternal world. Compared to Luo Ying, he needed to be cautious about many things. Although he was already working hard to become one with this world, sometimes he still felt that he didn't fit in. Jiang Chen and Luo Ying went deeper into the eternal world to search for treasures. The people around them were getting fewer and fewer. Their strength was basically at the 5th layer of the star realm or above. Those with low strength, even if they came to the deepest part of the eternal world, would only be helping others. This time, Jiang Chen and Luo Ying searched for a long time, but they didn't find any suitable treasures. There weren't many that were worth looking at. Are those 2 golden black lotuses? Luo Ying's eyes lit up when she saw the golden black lotuses floating behind a boulder in the distance. However, before she could react, they were already snatched away by a woman in red. Golden black lotuses? Are they very precious? Jiang Chen asked. That's for sure. I've read in an ancient book that the golden black lotuses can temper one's body and soul. It's a rare treasure. Luo Ying said solemnly. Then let's snatch it. Jiang Chen said with a smile. All right. The two of them smiled knowingly. This world was cruel. There was no morality to speak of. Moreover, these treasures were ownerless. Whoever snatched them would own them. However, before Jiang Chen and Luo Ying could make a move, the woman in red was surrounded by 4 men. All 4 of them were at the 7th layer of the star realm. They were very strong. The woman in red didn't even have the ability to retaliate. Although she was also at the 5th layer of the star realm, it was impossible for her to escape from these people. Hand over the golden black lotuses. I might spare your life. Come with me. I won't mistreat you. A young man in a white windbreaker said indifferently. His expression was cold and his eyes were filled with killing intent. Impossible. This is for my father's treatment. I won't give it to you even if you kill me. The woman in red said with a cold gaze. She was extremely determined. Stubborn fool. Do you know who I am? The young man in white frowned. Lung Lung said. I don't care who you are. No one can snatch my golden black lotuses unless you kill me. Chen Lu said with her teeth clenched. You don't know what's good for you. Young Master Huang is giving you a way out. Do you know how many people want to marry our young master? He doesn't even bother to look at them. Who do you think you are? Bitch. Do you really think you're a princess? Why don't you ask around? Within 100,000 light-years of Tianqian Star, who doesn't know how powerful our young Master Huang Jun is? If you follow our young Master Huang, you'll be able to do whatever you want in the future. The man in black beside Huang Jun said sternly. Huang Jun, are you from the Huang family, one of the 3 great families of Tianqian Star? Chen Lu's expression suddenly changed. Her heart trembled. She was also from the Tianqian Star. The 3 great families were the rulers of the entire Tianqian Star. No one dared to disobey them. However, these people were actually from the Huang family. Chen Lu never thought that she would be unable to bring the golden black lotus back after finding it to save her father. Chapter 50-66. It's good that you know. Hurry up and kowtow to young Master Huang and offer your black gold lotus. That's right. You don't know how high the sky is. Useless thing. Why don't you kneel before young Master Huang? If young Master Huang didn't like you, do you think you'd still be alive now? The 3 guards sneered as they looked at Chen Lu. This woman had only spared young Master Huang's life because of her good looks. Otherwise, the 3 of them would have attacked her a long time ago. This was Tianqian Star's territory. Adding on Huang Jun and his 3 guards, they were all at the 7th level of the star level. No one was a match for them. When people saw these 4, they would hide far away, not to mention fighting them. When the people heard that they were from Tianqian Star's Huang family, they quickly hid far away, not daring to get close. Now, if they got any treasure, they would hide it in their clothes. Who would dare to show it to others? Wasn't that courting death? They're from the Huang family. Let's leave quickly. I've also heard that this Huang Jun is a murderous demon king. However, his strength is indeed remarkable. Although he's a disciple of an aristocratic family, his talent is outstanding. This alone can only cause others to be envious and jealous. Who asked him to be born in such a good family? We can't compare to him. Poor girl. She can't escape from his clutches. Lower your voices. If young Master Huang hears you, you'll all die. Even 10 heads won't be enough. Shh. Let's go. Let's go there. The group of star-level warriors was shocked. Young Master Huang's name was well known. Who didn't know about him in Tianqian Star? The Huang family was one of the most powerful families in the Tianqian Star. The crowd gradually dispersed. At this time, only Huang Jun and the others were left. They approached Chen Lu step by step. Chen Lu's heart trembled more and more. Her father's illness was in urgent need of the black gold lotus. Now that she had finally found the black gold lotus, such a treasure was like a blessing from the heavens. But in the end, she met Huang Jun and the other bastards. He, little girl. You better be obedient. Otherwise, I won't let you off. Huang Jun said with a beaming smile. His tone was extremely feminine. Chen Lu bit her red lips. Looking at Huang Jun's terrifying gaze that was filled with lust, she knew that she would not be able to escape her misfortune today, and it was very likely that she would be humiliated by this bastard. Her father's illness was probably beyond her control, and it was very likely that she would die in front of her father. A warrior prefers death to humiliation. Chen Lu's heart was filled with despair, but she had nowhere else to go. After thinking about it for a while, she finally made up her mind. If this Huang Jun wanted to use force, then she would absolutely not lower her head. Better a broken piece of jade than an intact tile. Don't come any closer. If you come any closer, I'll destroy this black gold lotus. None of us can get it. At worst, we'll just die together. Chen Lu gritted her teeth and said, Hey, ha, don't do this. If you really destroy this black golden lotus, I won't be distressed, but if you hurt yourself, wouldn't I cry until my eyes go blind? Beauty. Just give in to me. As long as you follow me, you'll have a good life in the future. No one in the entire Tianqian Star will dare to say no to you. Huang Jun was beaming with joy, and his eyes were extremely ambiguous. In your dreams, Chen Lu said in a low voice. How about this? You have 2 black golden lotuses, and I only want 1. As for the remaining 1, I'll give it to you. That's my bottom line. Huang Jun frowned. It seemed like this woman really wanted to die together with him. This was not the result he wanted. Really? Chen Lu was startled, and her eyes were filled with joy. Of course. As one of the top 3 clans of Tianqian Star, I, Huang Jun, am a man of my words. If I go back on my words, I'll be struck by lightning. Huang Jun immediately swore. Chen Lu was a little hesitant, but she had no other choice. Moreover, Huang Jun had already sworn an oath. As one of the three great families of Tianqian Star, he definitely wouldn't go back on his word after making such a solemn oath. Although she was hesitant, this was Chen Lu's only option. Fine. I'll give you one, and you'll let me go. Chen Lu nodded and handed Huang Jun a black golden lotus. However, at this moment, a sudden change occurred. Originally, Chen Lu had already believed Huang Jun. However, in the next second, the three guards beside Huang Jun suddenly made a move. They took advantage of the gap and directly suppressed Chen Lu. Chen Lu didn't even have the strength to retaliate before she was captured by the three of them. No, Chen Lu screamed, but no matter how she struggled, she could not break free. 3-star level 7 experts. How could they let a star level 5 Chen Lu escape? Wasn't that a joke? Bastard! Huang Jun, you're lying. You beast! Chen Lu's eyes were hazy with tears. She bit her lip, causing it to bleed. Ha ha ha, I didn't make a move, but my guards couldn't take it anymore, so they took you down. What else could I do? Huang Jun spread his hands, looking innocent. Chen Lu never expected this Huang Jun to be so shameless, and he actually publicly went back on his word, completely toying with her in the palm of his hand. This was too despicable. However, she was like a fish on a chopping block. There was nothing she could do. Huang Jun didn't fear going back on his word, but she couldn't do anything to him. Even the onlookers didn't dare to say anything. After all, Huang Jun's identity was there for all to see. Even if he swore an oath, he wouldn't admit it. Right now, Chen Lu couldn't call for help from the heavens and earth. Why? Why are the heavens doing this to me? Why? Chen Lu screamed at the top of her lungs. Why did she have to find the black golden lotus? Yet she was trapped in a hopeless situation without a choice. Stop shouting. No one will come to save you even if you scream yourself hoarse. The best thing you can do now is to obediently return to Tianqian planet with me, become your 13th mistress, and serve me well. When the time comes, I might even treat you well. If you don't comply, then don't blame me for turning against you. When the time comes, I'll throw you into the death row and let those death row prisoners play with you. Huang Jun said with a cold expression. Chen Lu's delicate body trembled. She didn't dare to imagine that this bastard was worse than a beast. How could she be so stupid to believe this bastard? Chen Lu's heart was filled with unwillingness, but there was nothing she could do. She could only blame herself for being too naive. She couldn't differentiate between a human and a dog. This young master has gained quite a lot today. Let's go back. Ha ha ha. Huang Jun laughed. At this moment, he was no longer in the mood to search for treasures. He was drooling and couldn't wait to go back and teach Chen Lu a lesson. If you want to leave, leave the person and the treasures behind. Otherwise, you might not be able to leave. Chapter 50-67. What a joke. Who dares to poke their noses into my business? Who dares to talk nonsense here? A cold voice resounded in the sky. Huang Jun suddenly turned around and looked at Jiang Chen. He was just fretting about not having anyone to play with, and this guy actually came to him. Interesting. Ignorant kid, you're courting death. The guard blocked in front of Huang Jun, glaring at Jiang Chen. It's fine if you guys steal the treasure, but you even dare to kidnap a commoner girl. Ha ha ha, looks like I have to intervene. Jiang Chen said with a smile that wasn't a smile. Who do you think you are? Kid, you think too highly of yourself. Believe it or not, I don't even need to lift a finger to kill you. Huang Jun stood with his arms crossed. No one had dared to be arrogant to him before. On Tianqian planet, he was the local tyrant. No one dared to be his enemy. He was the first. That means you're here to save the damsel in distress? Huang Jun sneered. No, I'm here to steal the treasure. Jiang Chen's calm smile made Huang Jun's face darken. He felt like he was tricked. Good, good, good. Then I'll grant you your wish. It's easy to die. On Tianqian planet, I can grant you 100 wishes. Huang Jun looked down at Jiang Chen with an incomparably cold expression. At this moment, there were also people surrounding them, and they were filled with surprise. It seemed like this battle for the treasure was going to be a bloody battle. Everyone came with the intention of the mantis stalking the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. If the two sides fought, their lives would be on the line. Even if it was the young master of the Huang family, they wouldn't care. It was just that right now, they were afraid of the Huang family's prestige and the power of 4-star levels. However, if the two sides fought, they would have the chance to reap the benefits. Who would let it go? But now, it seemed like Jiang Chen didn't know his place. He dared to provoke Huang Jun. Was the Huang family's prestige something that anyone could violate? If it was for the treasure, it would be praiseworthy. If it was to save the damsel in distress, then he was a fool. Kill me? That depends on whether you have the ability or not. I want the person, I want the treasure, I want the fish and bear paws, I want them all. Jiang Chen laughed as he exchanged glances with Huang Jun. Huang Jun's expression turned even colder. Where did this trash come from? He doesn't know the immensity of the heavens and earth. Then I'll fulfill your wish. If you want to be the hero saving the damsel in distress, then you have to see how capable you are. Get rid of him for me. Huang Jun said in a deep voice. Let's see who dares to move. Luo Ying appeared in a flash and stood beside Jiang Chen. At this moment, she attracted everyone's attention. What powerful strength. Another star level 7. Most importantly, Luo Ying was too beautiful. As soon as she appeared, she shocked everyone. When Huang Jun looked at Luo Ying, his heart was filled with joy. His eyeballs were about to fall out. F***CK. Such a beauty should only exist in the heavens. How many times would I be able to smell one in the mortal world? It seems like the heavens really sent me warmth. Isn't this big sister too beautiful? Ga. Take both of them down for me. Tonight, I want a dragon to play with 2 phoenixes. Huang Jun was beaming with joy. Originally, Chen Lu was already enough to make him restless. Now, there was such an outstanding beauty. How could he not do it? Quickly make the arrangements. Wasn't this a beauty sent to his doorstep? How could he let her escape? The eyes of the 3 guards brightened as they looked at each other. This woman was too beautiful. Their young master must have been moved. He was so excited that he couldn't control himself anymore. It's over. This time, they will all be ruined by the Huang family. What a pity. Sigh, such a good girl. Exactly. That bastard Huang Jun bullies others. I've always disliked him, but there's nothing I can do about it. Who asked him to be the local tyrant of Tianqian Star? It's better to be born well than to cultivate well. The most spoiled brat of Tianqian Star is none other than Huang Jun, but no one can do anything about them. If the heavens have feelings, they will grow old. We are just a drop in the ocean of this eternal world. Compared to them, we are still too insignificant. That's right. Only by becoming stronger can we not be bullied by others. How pitiful and sad. There are too many injustices in this world. Even the strongest experts can't turn the tide. Many people sighed when they saw this scene. After all, whether Jiang Chen was doing this for the treasure or to be a hero saving a damsel in distress, in front of Huang Jun, he was destined to lose this battle. Let's do it. 3 for you, 1 for me. Luo Ying looked at Jiang Chen and smiled. Do you really think that your man is so good at fighting? Jiang Chen couldn't help but smile bitterly. I don't know if you can fight or not. But if I save the little girl, she will definitely not marry me. I'm not sure about others. Luo Ying curled her lips and said in a strange tone. Jiang Chen sighed in his heart. Damn it, she's jealous. I'm doing this for the treasure, not for a woman. Jiang Chen said in a deep voice, showing his stubbornness. Who knows? Luo Ying rolled her eyes. At this moment, Huang Jun's 3 bodyguards had already rushed up. You're definitely trying to frame your man. Jiang Chen smiled bitterly. He couldn't let Luo Ying take everything by herself, right? Jiang Chen fought 1 against 3. He brandished his sword and charged up. The heavenly dragon sword was still as powerful as before. The aura of the sword made the 3-star level 7 experts not dare to underestimate it. Damn. Isn't this kid too ferocious? 1 against 3? Bullshit. I don't believe it. A star level 5 fighting 3-star level 7. Dream on. I don't believe it either. It's like courting death. Everyone shook their heads. They originally thought that he had help and was fearless. But now, it seemed that he was just a fool. Hurry up and finish him off. I can't wait anymore. Huang Jun rubbed his hands as he spoke. His eyes were filled with a sinister light as his gaze constantly swept across Luo Ying's body. He then looked at Chen Lu who was beside him. It was a blessing to have multiple wives. That was truly too beautiful. His trip this time was indeed not wrong. Treasures and whatnot were secondary. Women were the things he loved the most. Huang Jun was incomparably excited. Women were his greatest joy in life. However, Huang Jun didn't expect that the 3-star level 7 guards could not even defeat this bastard after exchanging more than 100 moves. Wasn't this a joke? 3 pieces of trash and a star level 5 guy. Is it worth it for you guys to muster such a large force? Can you guys do it? Huang Jun scolded. He wanted to personally make a move. A kid with such trashy strength actually made the 3 of them fight for so long. What was the point of having a bunch of good-for-nothings? Chapter 50-68. The 3 Huang family guards were also dumbfounded. They had never encountered such a powerful opponent. Jiang Chen's strength far exceeded their imagination. This was unbelievable. How could a star level 5 guy be so monstrous? They couldn't figure it out. In addition to Huang Jun's scolding, "Why don't you do it if you can?" all they knew to do was call out from the side. They were after all star level 7 warriors, and they were originally the advisors of the Huang family. Now, they became Huang Jun's guards instead. Bao Bao felt bitter. To Huang Jun, this Jiang Chen was just a clown. If you can't even deal with a clown, what's the point of the Huang family paying so many cultivation resources for you? The 3 guards of the Huang family were getting anxious at this moment. If they didn't show some of their true abilities, they would really lose face this time around. Not only would they lose face in public, but they would also lose the face of the Huang family. If this went on, it would be strange if Huang Jun didn't get angry. But Jiang Chen was really hard to deal with. And although Jiang Chen wasn't strong, the more he fought, the more valiant he became. Fighting 1 against 3, he didn't seem to be at a disadvantage at all. It even gave people the feeling that he was sitting on a fishing platform. Who could take this? The 3 Huang family guards were suffocating. All these years, they had always been the ones giving others face. But this time, they were tricked by a kid far weaker than them. How could they reason with this? Wings of the whirlwind, chasing wind fist, staff of lightning, rainstorm samsara. The 3-star level 7 experts went all out, going straight for Jiang Chen. At this time, the other guard also went all out against Luo Ying. However, Luo Ying's strength wasn't that easy to defeat either. Both were star level 7 experts, and Luo Ying was a true descendant of the Phoenix race. She practically suppressed the other guard, and the battle between the two was even more intense. Fight, fight, fight. Jiang Chen's blood was boiling. The more he felt this way, the happier he was. The battle was intense, and his own strength was constantly rising. Add to that the pressure from the 3 of them, and Jiang Chen's heart was filled with excitement. The heavenly dragon sword swept unstoppably. Streaks of sword shadows landed in the sky. The entire core position of the Eye of the Storm was occupied by him. The sword chi pierced through the clouds and went straight for the root of the problem. 29 blades. Sword 30. 31 blade. Jiang Chen's sword was getting stronger and stronger, completely suppressing the 3 of them. The battle between the two sides had unknowingly attracted the onlookers. They were filled with admiration for Jiang Chen. Isn't this kid too ruthless? Not only did he go against the Huang family's young master, he even fought 3-star level 7 experts by himself. Oh my, I really can't believe it. I've never heard of such an expert before. This kind of expert really hides himself too deeply. Luckily, I didn't offend him. Otherwise, I might not even know how I died. Some star level 6 experts were trembling at the side. I think the Huang family's face has been completely lost this time. Ha ha ha, Huang Jun has always been so arrogant. This time, he finally found someone who can suppress him. You can't say that. Now that both sides have a winner and a loser, it's still uncertain who will be the winner. Yeah, we have to look at ourselves first. Although this guy is very strong, Huang Jun is not easy to deal with. Sigh, since ancient times, beauties often have unlucky fates. Looks like these 2 women will not have a good ending. Until the very last moment, no one knows who will have the last laugh. To us, this battle has benefited us greatly. Countless people in the surroundings raised their heads in anticipation. It wasn't easy to come across a battle between star level 7 powerhouses. Some people even forgot to search for treasures at this time. To them, if they could gain some experience from watching the battle, it would be beneficial. Although they might not be able to break through, it would be a valuable asset for their future cultivation and battles. Jiang Chen glanced at Luo Ying in the distance. As long as she was fine, he could rest easy. He would give it his all. Kid, let's see how long you can last. The three of us will accompany you to the end. Even if we can't decide the winner, I will make you suffer to death. Right. We can't give him a chance to breathe. The three exchanged glances, their gazes extremely solemn. They began to fight to the death with Jiang Chen. You guys are playing with fire. Ha ha. Jiang Chen laughed loudly. Wanting to fight to the death with him? You guys aren't qualified. However, at this moment, Jiang Chen was already prepared to fight them to the death. Moreover, the barrier of his cultivation finally showed signs of loosening. As long as he exerted himself, he would be able to break through to the sixth heavenly layer of the star realm. Once he broke through, the three of them would be like trash in front of him, to be dealt with as he wished. Let's finish this quickly. I don't want to hear any more sounds. Huang Jun stood with his hands behind his back and scolded. The three of them were furious. It seemed that it was time to give Jiang Chen a fatal blow. With their full strength, the combined attack of 3-star level experts could be seen. 3 terrifying lights interweaved on Jiang Chen, causing a commotion in the surroundings. Jiang Chen was engulfed by the 3 lights in the dust. His figure couldn't be seen at all. In the universe, flying rocks and falling rocks constantly gathered together, forming a meteor blade that tore through the void. Jiang Chen couldn't dodge at all. It's over. This kid still lost in the end. That's right, we all forgot. Those are 3-star states. It seems that strength and weakness are irreversible. It's simply wishful thinking to think that the weak can win against the strong. That's right. It seems that we still have to cultivate properly and strive to break through as soon as possible. If you're weak, don't be a hero to save the damsel in distress. This is a classic case of losing the wife after the soldier. The hero saved the damsel in distress, but he lost his wife as well. Everyone laughed. Once Jiang Chen died, Luo Ying would definitely be captured by Huang Jun. At that time, their wives would have to become someone else's concubine. This Jiang Chen was really too arrogant. Fortunately, I didn't disappoint you. Young Master Huang, this guy is already dead. The leader of the guard said proudly. At this moment, Chen Lu's face was also filled with shock. She didn't expect that the man who saved her would lose his life as well. This made her heart filled with helplessness and bitterness. In the midst of everyone's laughter, a rainbow-colored figure soared up into the sky from the center of the dust cloud. This is impossible. Absolutely impossible. The 3 of them were dumbfounded. Originally, Huang Jun had a smile on his face. He wanted to praise the 3 of them, but now, he couldn't say anything. Chapter 5069. Bastard, you're not dead yet. Huang Jun's pupils constricted as he said fiercely. You're not dead yet. Why would I be one step ahead of you? But today, I'm afraid you won't be able to leave. Jiang Chen said indifferently. Chen Lu also raised her head and stared at Jiang Chen, her heart filled with indescribable joy. Ignorant brat. Who do you think you are? Ha ha ha, you want my life. Who do you think you are? What a reckless fool. Kill. Under Huang Jun's command, the 3 once again charged at Jiang Chen. However, the current Jiang Chen had already broken through to the 6th level of the star realm. He was not afraid of anyone. The 3-star level 7s were no longer a threat to him. This time, I will make sure you die without a burial place. Turn into ashes. The 3 Huang clan guards were furious. They thought they had killed Jiang Chen. They did not expect him to make a comeback. This Jiang Chen is too shocking. Yeah, I also did not expect him to rise from the ashes, and even break through to the 6th level of the star realm. This is too unbelievable. This time, I'm afraid it's really hard to say who's better and who's worse. Everyone looked at each other. Jiang Chen had risen again. His strength had broken through, and he was able to fight against the 3 of them with an overwhelming advantage. The 6th level of the star realm, Jiang Chen, was unstoppable, wielding the divine judgment brush, sealing the surrounding space. The 3's range of movement became smaller and smaller, constantly being suppressed by Jiang Chen. Damn it, how did this guy become so strong? Yeah, we seem to be getting more and more passive. The three's faces turned pale. Jiang Chen held the divine judgment brush in one hand and the heavenly dragon sword in the other, attacking from both sides, not letting the three guards have any chance to retaliate. Under dragon transformation, he became stronger and stronger, constantly being beaten down, their defenses broken. If this continued, the three would not have any chance of winning. Young Master Huang, we can't hold on anymore. The three of them had ugly expressions on their faces. If this continued, the result would be obvious. They would definitely be in a passive position, and their lives might even be in danger. A bunch of trash. What a disgrace to our Huang family. Huang Jun flew into a rage out of humiliation. He didn't expect this outcome at all. They couldn't even deal with a Star State level 6 kid. You guys can really go eat shit. A bunch of good-for-nothings. I'll have to do it myself. Bastards, when you get back, all of you go to my father and beg for forgiveness. Huang Jun was extremely furious. At this time, he had to make a move. Otherwise, if something were to happen to these three people, he would be in danger. Now, with his help, they would definitely be able to suppress Jiang Chen. Die, little brat! Huang Jun roared and rushed into the sky. He drew his saber and saber shadows filled the sky, slashing down continuously. Even the stars in the universe were shattered at this moment. Huang Jun was indeed strong, no weaker than the three guards. However, even with him, they still weren't a match for Jiang Chen. Jiang Chen's sword Qi was domineering and powerful. A 30,000-meter-long sword shadow split the sky and earth, directly scaring Huang Jun to the point where he pissed his pants. Not only him, but the three guards were also like dead dogs, scared out of their wits. The four of them weren't a match for Jiang Chen at all. After 10 exchanges, they were completely routed. The sky darkened, but Jiang Chen's starlight shone brightly, shining brightly. What power! This person has probably reached the Star State level 8. Strength doesn't represent battle prowess. For Star States couldn't even fight back. It's enough to see how strong he is. Our Tianqin planet is probably going to have a wave. That Huang Jun fellow has finally met a true opponent. He serves him right, as the saying goes, those who are unjust are doomed. Isn't that so? Who knows how many evil things he's done and how many people he's killed? This is retribution. Everyone looked at him with disdain. From this, it could be seen how unpopular Huang Jun was. In Tianqin Star, he was the biggest scum. Where do you think you're going? Jiang Chen chased after them relentlessly. The 4-star realm experts were beaten to a sorry state by Jiang Chen. Give me the black gold lotus. Jiang Chen roared furiously. He stretched out his hand and snatched the dark golden lotus from Huang Jun's hand. My treasure! Huang Jun roared. However, compared to his life, treasures weren't worth mentioning. They only knew how to run, and they had no time to fight Jiang Chen. They didn't dare face him head-on, as Jiang Chen was like a deity of the heavens and earth, and there was nothing they could do. Don't run! Stop that guy for me! Huang Jun roared angrily. He was so scared that his face turned pale. No, he's too strong. Let's run. Young Master Huang. Yeah, young Master Huang, we really can't beat him. If we don't run, we're really done for. Huang Jun rolled his eyes. He knew he had to run, but they had to be able to run first. If they didn't stop Jiang Chen, how could he run? With a stretch of his hand, Huang Jun transformed the square inch into a circle and set up a small array formation. Red net formation. Activate. Huang Jun let out a low roar and activated the spirit design. Huang Jun disappeared instantly and ran away. However, the rest of the guards were dumbfounded. Mother Fastris Kerr, aren't we done for? Huang Jun ran, leaving them behind. What should they do? That bastard! The three cursed, but Jiang Chen had already caught up. If this continued, they would be finished. They'd become Jiang Chen's prey. Want to run? No way! Jiang Chen shouted. At this moment, Huang Jun activated the teleportation formation and escaped by himself. But these guards could only die for him. Damn it, at most we'll just die. The three of them gritted their teeth and roared. They rushed towards Jiang Chen angrily, determined to fight to the death with Jiang Chen. You won't have the chance. Jiang Chen's voice was incomparably calm. His sword left a sound. The limitless sword had sealed off all their escape routes. They had nowhere to hide and could only be slaughtered by Jiang Chen. In the end, the three of them were killed mercilessly. Jiang Chen's heavenly dragon sword was dyed red with fresh blood. Everyone around him shuddered. The last guard was gradually suppressed to death by Luo Ying's hands. He didn't have a single chance to escape. Luo Ying's murderous aura burst out. She instantly slit the man's neck. The last guard was already dead. It's a pity that Huang Jun escaped. Chapter 50-70. He's definitely a ruthless person. Mother****, I'm completely convinced. This is a true peerless expert, hiding in the city. Even if all of us join forces, we might not be his match. Isn't that so? Luckily, we didn't make an enemy out of him. Otherwise, we'd be dead for sure. Even that little tyrant from Tianqian planet fled pathetically. We'd definitely die. You really can't judge a book by its cover. However, this guy probably won't dare to appear on Tianqian planet anymore. Once he's caught by Huang Jun, he'll definitely suffer. Everyone was afraid of Jiang Chen. This guy was too terrifying. No one dared to look him in the eye. This wasn't something an ordinary person could compare to. A 6th Heavenly Layer Star Realm killing 3 7th Heavenly Layer Star Realm experts. No one would believe it if they knew about this. Right now, Jiang Chen was like an unparalleled god of war. Everyone kept a respectful distance, afraid of offending Jiang Chen and dying a horrible death. Are you all right? Jiang Chen looked at Chen Lu. Thank you for your concern. I'm fine. Chen Lu heaved a sigh of relief. That Huang Jun was finally beaten away. Now, she could be considered to have escaped. However, her black gold lotus was lost. At this moment, it was in Jiang Chen's hand. It's good that you're fine. Jiang Chen nodded. Benefactor, I have a favor to ask. Chen Lu said softly, looking extremely embarrassed. Just say it. My father is seriously ill and needs the black gold lotus to treat him. However, those 2 black gold lotuses are both in your hands. Chen Lu said. Benefactor, please don't overthink it. I just want to exchange something with you. As long as you're willing, you can follow me back to the Chen family. As long as it's something that you're interested in, I definitely won't be stingy. However, I only want one. As long as it can cure my father's illness, I don't care what you want. Chen Lu said nervously. Your father is ill? Is he in urgent need of the black gold lotus? Jiang Chen said. Chen Lu nodded. Then I'll give you one. Thank you, benefactor. Chen Lu said gratefully. It's nothing. It's not worth mentioning. This black gold lotus is for you. I only need one. Jiang Chen said with a smile. Chen Lu's face was filled with astonishment and joy, but she didn't know what to do. To Chen Lu, the golden black lotus was naturally an extremely important thing. But now that Wu Jinlian was in the hands of Jiang Chen, and it was Jiang Chen who saved her, Chen Lu didn't dare to ask for it. Jiang Chen was too strong, so strong that it made everyone shudder. At this moment, the surrounding people were filled with shock. They hadn't expected this. Jiang Chen had driven the Huangs away. What was more surprising was that Jiang Chen had given the black golden lotus to Chen Lu as well. Benefactor, please come back to Tianqian planet with me. Although my Chen family isn't the overlord of Tianqian planet, we still have some treasures. As long as you're interested, I won't be stingy. Chen Lu said seriously. No need. Saving a life is better than building a 7-storied pagoda. Besides, you're so filial. Jiang Chen said, waving his hand. No. Benefactor. My father has always taught me that a drop of kindness should be repaid with a spring. I won't take advantage of you for free. Chen Lu was very stubborn. She looked very serious. Since that's the case. All right then. I need some rare metal ores and materials. I wonder if you have them? Jiang Chen asked. I don't know. But you can go back with me first. We'll see when we get back to our family. Besides, we have the biggest trading market within 100,000 light-years on Tianqian planet. Many interstellar wanderers like to go there to trade. Treasures are often found there. Maybe you can get what you want, benefactor. Who knows? Chen Lu said. In that case, let's go there. It's not a bad idea. Jiang Chen's eyes lit up. Don't call me benefactor. It's awkward. Just call me Brother Jiang. Okay, Brother Jiang, Chen Lu said, smiling. It seems that you're quite happy. Are you going to marry into my family? Luo Ying rolled her eyes at Jiang Chen and said. Jiang Chen's mouth twitched. Why didn't he notice that Luo Ying was so jealous? It seemed that he would become a henpecked husband in the future. I'm just helping others. Jiang Chen patted Luo Ying's shoulder and said with a smile. You must be sister-in-law? Nice to meet you. Chen Lu nodded. Yes. Luo Ying nodded. It was mainly because Chen Lu was too beautiful that she couldn't help but feel a sense of crisis. Although Jiang Chen wasn't the kind of person who would fall in love with everyone he met, she still felt a little uneasy. You've suffered some injuries. This black golden lotus can be used to refine 100 turns golden pill for you. It can help you. Although it might not help you break through to the 8th heaven, it will definitely make the fire phoenix power in your body more stable. Jiang Chen held the black golden lotus in his hand and looked at Luo Ying. There was still some residual power in her body that hadn't been completely cleared. Refining 100 turns golden pill would definitely help her get rid of all the impurities in her body and perfectly integrate the real fire phoenix power. That's more like it. Let's go. Luo Ying smiled and followed behind Jiang Chen. The storm was getting bigger and bigger. The people around them also gradually left. Now that the storm has started to return, it's very dangerous for us to stay here. Brother Jiang, you should leave with me quickly to Tianqin Star. Chen Lu looked serious. Okay. Jiang Chen nodded and left the center of the storm. The three of them went all the way to Tianqin Star. Tianqin Star was a very beautiful fiery red planet with a tinge of blue in the middle. It was the Gulf Stream between the lakes and the mountains. It was very beautiful. Jiang Chen was shocked when he saw this planet. His eyes were filled with emotions. His home was not inferior to this heavenly Chen star. Looking at it from afar, it was very beautiful. Compared to the surrounding planets, it was indescribably magnificent. Jiang Chen didn't know how to describe it. Jiang Chen was shocked when he saw this planet. Majestic, grand and full of vitality. It's so beautiful. Such a planet is full of vitality when it's full of people. It's rare to see such a planet in the universe. Jiang Chen couldn't help but praise it. Yes, our Tianqin star is the largest and most beautiful star in 100,000 light years. It's also one of the top 10 star realms in the Sky Tyrant star field. There are countless experts here and the resources here are very rich. It's said that it has existed for hundreds of millions of years. Even after 100 million years, it won't dry up. Chen Lu said with a mellow smile. Not only is the planet beautiful, but the people here are also beautiful. There must be many girls like you. Chapter 50-71. Luo Ying was constantly reminding Jiang Chen not to look or listen to indecent things. Jiang Chen smiled bitterly in his heart. She was really a jealous person. He didn't have the time to think about this. The most important thing now was to find Feng Er. Since he was here, he might as well make the best of it. Now, Jiang Chen's biggest dream was to reforge the Heavenly Dragon Sword. Because the Heavenly Dragon Sword had been cut alive by the mysterious source ancient site, Jiang Chen had to reforge the sword. Tianqin Star was the largest astral boundary within 100,000 light years. It was also one of the most powerful places in the Sky Tyrant star field. It could be ranked in the top 10 and was also the core of trade. Jiang Chen wanted to take this opportunity to see if there were any materials that could reforge the Heavenly Dragon Sword. If he wanted the Heavenly Dragon Sword to shine again, he had to find even more terrifying materials. Moreover, there were many people coming and going here. It would be easier for him to find news about Feng Er. Tianqin Star was the center of the Sky Tyrant star field. There were almost no countries here. It was just a complicated network of forces that covered the entire Tianqin Star. The heavenly star was terrifyingly big, and it would take at least 3 to 5 years to travel through it. This was because it was impossible to travel freely in the star boundary like in the universe. You had to take care of more things in the star boundary. In front of us is our Chen family. That mountain is our sacred guardian mountain. It is called Dongchen Mountain. Our Chen family has been guarding this place for 1,000,000 years. Dongchen Mountain is one of the 3 great forces in the western border. Our Chen family is one of them. The spiritual qi here is very rich. It is an excellent place for geniuses. There are already millions of people living in Dongchen Mountain. There are treasures everywhere in Dongchen Mountain. The mountains in front are extremely dangerous. Some people have even seen star level 9 demonic beasts. Chen Lu introduced to Jiang Chen and Luo Ying. That's the Donghua Mountain Range. It's 100,000 miles long and contains countless treasures. But it's next to the Tang of the East. The Tang of the East is full of interstellar wanderers. The Tang is also the trading center of the entire Tianqian star. Chen Lu looked at the vast mountains and said solemnly. She was clearly in awe of the Donghua Mountains. Her spirited eyes sparkled with her attachment and love for this homeland. Looks like your Chen clan is also a big clan in the western border. Mount Dongchen, the mountain is majestic, and the cliffs are thousands of meters high. Not bad. Jiang Chen chuckled as he gazed at Mount Dongchen from afar. It was indeed very majestic, with clear waters and 1,000 mountains, a sight that made one feel relaxed and happy. Terrifying Genesis Qi assailed one's nostrils. It was truly a blessed land. Who is the most powerful person in the western border? How strong are they? Luo Ying asked curiously. Well, Chen Lu hesitated for a moment before saying, the strongest in Xizang should be my grandfather. He's a star level 9. However, the other two factions, the Shangtian Manor's leader and the Quafu clan's leader, should also be star level 9. In the western border, there were 3 factions, and there were far fewer experts than in the Central Plains. In the Central Plains, there are 3 major factions, the Yi family, Shao family, and Huang family. The bastard Huang Jun we encountered outside the astral realm is from the Huang family. They are the 3 most powerful families. They pretty much control the resources and connections of the entire Tianqian planet. All 3 families have cosmic cloud states. What? There are cosmic cloud states on the Tianqian planet? Jiang Chen was shocked. It seemed the difference between the Heaven Awakening Starfield and Heaven Tyrant Starfield was too vast. This wasn't the Heaven Tyrant Starfield. If this was the Heaven Tyrant Starfield, wouldn't they be able to find cosmic cloud states easily? In the entire Heaven Awakening Starfield, the strongest person was only a star level 6. There might be hidden masters, but they didn't show themselves to the world. However, the Tianqian planet was different. There were 3 cosmic cloud states in the Central Plains. No wonder people shivered. Jiang Chen didn't dare to guess just how strong a cosmic cloud state was. At least, he wouldn't be a match for a cosmic cloud state. It was definitely an insurmountable mountain. Jiang Chen was very curious about the Tianqian planet. With cosmic cloud states, the Tianqian planet would definitely be stronger than the Heaven Awakening Starfield. There would be more treasures. Of course. Do you think our Tianqian planet is an uncivilized planet? We're one of the top 10 astral realms in the Heaven Tyrant Starfield. In terms of trade, we can definitely rank top 3. Chen Lu was very confident. It seems I need to be careful of this Huang Jun from the Central Plains Huang family. Jiang Chen touched his nose. He didn't expect he really offended such a powerful figure. Hee, but as long as we behave in the western border, the Huang family definitely won't invade the western border to deal with us. Don't worry, the Chen family isn't weak. Looking at Chen Lu's happy face, Jiang Chen nodded slightly. Luo Ying and Jiang Chen were slightly relieved. However, they were not familiar with this place after all. It was better to be careful in Heaven Chen Star. Let's go, I'll take you to see my grandpa first. He will be very happy to know that you guys saved me. Chen Lu smiled. The 3 of them entered Mount East Chen. Quite a few people greeted Chen Lu with smiles on their faces. It seemed that Chen Lu's relationships with people were quite good. At the peak of Dongchen Mountain was an extremely grand palace. It was extremely majestic. It was as though the entire mountain was cut off and built on top of it. It was antique and full of charm. Third uncle, where are you going? Chen Lu saw a black-robed middle-aged man and went up to greet him. The black-robed man frowned when he saw Jiang Chen and Luo Ying. Who are they? The black-robed man asked coldly. They're my friends. Third uncle. Let me introduce you. This is my benefactor, Jiang Chen. No need. Don't bring these riffraff back. Your grandpa doesn't like it. Humph. The black-robed man snorted and left. Chen Lu was a little confused. She didn't know why her third uncle had become so strange. Moreover, he didn't like Jiang Chen and Luo Ying. Strange, why is third uncle so angry? Chen Lu asked in confusion. When she looked at the housekeeper in the distance, he shook his head. He was her grandpa's housekeeper, the chief housekeeper of the Chen family, Xueqi. Grandpa Zhong, my second uncle. What happened? Chen Lu frowned. I don't know. You're here to see your grandpa, right? He's in seclusion. You should go back. Xueqi turned around and left. He didn't seem to have any good thoughts about Jiang Chen. Chen Lu murmured, "You're tuning in to the Xueqi's Martial Arts Saga YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.